Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to In the Streets with Big Stone. Today I'm at the Paul Bogle Square. Today being the 24th of October 2019. Fire baptism. As you see, IRFM is presented in the square, and we're going to be tuning in and listening into Mutabaruka and see what is going on with Muta. Stay tuned, don't touch it out. Big Stone, I'll be right back.
And I'd like to ask you this question. Is the foundation that you set up can assist the farmers them? We're cutting the cane in Duckens field that they have now. Don't compensate them with the land, but them confiscate the land as the sugar production, the last sugar factory in the eastern part of the island. Is now being redundant in the people them. And for so much years, this sugar factory never stopped work over the years. All during the Paul Bogle Rebellion, it continued working till this day, planting the best sugar. And they are redundant in the people and family. Would your foundation restore that land as a compensation to the workers them, that by the next 3 years, your produce can show the people them growth and development in St. Thomas?
No, yes, my virgin. First thing, my virgin. We don't have that kind of power or authority.
Why?
Well, take your time, man. Take your time, man. Take your time, man. Blue Mountain Peak have the best coffee right now. Them a lot.
No, we don't have this, man.
Well, but we don't have that power.
Which power you have?
We don't have the power to go save that. You have to talk about when the foundation take the rightful place in the earth. Right now we are struggling to get up there.
I have 3 years time.
3 years time when the foundation take it rightful place. We will deal with the land issue around here.
So if him question when I ask you, he must just wait 3 years now.
He must wait till the foundation take it rightful place.
3 years time.
Yeah. Right now Babylon are doing everything to suppress this organization.
Hold on.
No,
Waiting 3 years.
Hold on, man.
Waiting 3 years.
Yes.
While the mother and the father.
I am not government, my brother.
Hold on. Have to find.
My brother, the foundation don't get finance.
Hold on.
We don't get finance. A free move and Baruka come and work for we don't. Not even gas money we don't get moved.
The children, the parents that has been redundant. What is the working that they have to achieve to send your children to school? Boss, give them a breakfast and a lunch.
Boss, the foundation.
Hold on there. If the vision not show him that yet.
Hold on. No.
3 years time, it will work out.
Yes, man.
So that sounds like a church thing now. Where they say, does prayer have faith?
Well, without faith, you know, you can't accomplish nothing.
Yeah, but faith without works, it's dead.
Of course, we agree with that.
The merchant that talk about something where I work for years now and it almost go down now.
Yes.
So I say no, all them candles we are burn.
We see many more things that go down.
All them candles we are burn and all them things. So the African people them in a Moran Bay and the cane farmer them in a Moran. They might ask you what force is there that you push in to help those situations, because that's a very important situation and the whole liberation of people.
Well, we can only speak to the authorities. We cannot give guarantee that we
but
can
you give guarantee for 3 years time?
Yes.
What you guarantee in 3 years?
We guarantee that by the power of the people around the globe that is getting involved in this.
The burning of the candle.
Well, that is getting involved in the burning of the candle.
It will help to what? It alleviate the problem with him have.
Of course. Because you will have an influx of people who is asking questions about St. Thomas. That will make whoever is government can just do as them have a like. Plus the Paul Bogle Foundation will be recognized and have to give a certain rightful police, not just in St. Thomas but in this country.
Mr. Constantine.
Yes, my brother.
I respect you because you have the name Bogle. The Constantine part I don't know about because I know where Emperor Constantine is doing. In terms of our belief and all. Yeah, you know. But you're not saying no. You're not saying no. I don't really want to say something to you, certain things to you. Because I stand up in front of you. Maybe I should have said to me on a phone. Because I made that talk on the phone and I know we lock off already, you know. Say because you know.
It's in the brethren, a whole heap of people I think like that brethren there. A whole heap of people who are stand up right as now. I try to figure out what is it that you talking about that what happened 3 years ago. You talk about now the whole globe of a burn a candle. Wait now. The whole globe of a burn a candle. And the farmers them in a Jamaica I go feel the effect of this burn of the candle. By the people them outside, I go come investigate what is it that the people them in a moral being need. And them going to get it out of selling of t-shirt and tourism. And tourism you talk about man. Tourism. But tourism attraction. 3 years time, I'm going to come back here and the place where I look same way. When I ask you,
don't have your opinion on your subject.
Yeah, my opinion. I'm not going to give my opinion. Of my opinion, I don't get no vision. I tell you, say, 3 years time, I go come here, so. And the people them want to gather, see me like them gathering. And I hope you're here.
I will be here.
I am here to ask the same question. That what is it that happened 3 years forward that make the people them who stand up in front of me life more meaningful?
Everything from what we have on, what we eat, what we drink, everything comes from farming. When you plant seeds,
everybody know that, but
you have to wait on it.
Yeah, but everybody know, yeah. And
the foundation, yeah, but the foundation.
But you was at 21 years
yeah,
old.
But Muta, is the foundation, why? Is the foundation been funded by anybody and we are get the funds then and we feel you cannot do the funds? We're not getting no funds.
But you're not getting no funds because you're not seeking funds.
Why we're not seeking funds?
No, you're not seeking no funds. You're waiting for tourists come here.
Muta, you don't know that type of fact, man.
They're not that you are saying?
No, I am saying
you say you're not seeking no funds?
No, I said we are not. Alright, Muta. We have a Paul Bobo website, right? In less than 2 weeks, we have over 100,000 people up on the website.
And each of them
no, you know what happened? The man and the powers that be, each time you click for get a dollar, it said this foundation do not accept donation.
Yeah.
It's a whole party you don't know, man.
Yeah, so what happened?
See? So therefore, we don't get a chance.
You register the foundation as a non-profit.
We register?
Yeah.
See what? We register for now. This year make what, 21 years? From 1999.
21 is a good number.
That's why you are here and that's why 21 years now people around the world are taken on to this.
But you talk about people around the world, I'm not talking about people in front of me.
The children then.
In front of me, I talk about
the thing will take time, Muta.
You have to dance a yard before you dance.
Yeah, but the thing will take time. The thing will take time to grow up.
Wait there. Why you think so most politicians? Why you think so most? You know, yes, tourism are the biggest money earner in a Jamaica.
Yeah.
Tourism are the biggest money earner in a Jamaica. Most of the tourist dollars must come at Center Man. None of the tourist dollars may not come here at Center Man.
Yeah.
Them stay on the North Coast and them go a foreign for those who own the hotel and the French hotel them and the Mexican hotel them and but the government tell us things are going good because see there we have enough tourists now and this and that. Alright. You sound like the tourism minister.
No.
Yes.
No.
So
I and I talk about a different kind of tourism.
Tourism to buy t-shirts and
No, Muta. We are talking about a different kind of tourism. We are talking about tourism where we are able to link you to a man. We are coming inside of Jamaica and we are stay at your place. And you are going to benefit from it. Other kind of tourism.
And that's our help the brother with the farm.
Eco-tourism,
that's our help with the farm.
Muta.
No, that's our help with the farm.
Eco-tourism you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
You know why people travel to Montego Bay? Because they hear. Because they hear about Montego Bay.
Yeah.
We are not waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
Because if we sit down and wait in a St. Thomas to be discovered, we will never get nothing. We have been doing that for 100 and odd years. I say if St. Thomas is darkness, come help I put on light. And shine light, make people around the world see and ask questions.
By doing what?
By creating an international commemoration day for the 500 million Africans who were dead as a result of slavery. And force every black government on earth when it goes to a certain level where they have to get involved
And you think they light in a candle? You think they light in a candle of a force?
Muta, when a billion, we have 1.2 to 1. Professor I listened to the other day. I said we have 1.6 billion people on earth. When we have a billion man.
No, 7 billion people.
No, maybe billion black people.
Black people,
yeah. Yeah, 1.6 billion black people. When we Muta have a billion black people stand up and light a candle in memory of Philip Anson.
And you really believe, say, 1 billion people around the world have a light a candle to the cause of you vision now?
Yes, man.
You feel that?
I don't feel it, man. A blind man feel. And I know that.
No, but I feel all the while I'm not blind.
Yeah, that's when I touch
you. Like when I'm like lady on the bed.
Yes, yeah, I know that.
Anyway, when time?
The Rasta, the
oh, the cut off? Okay, yes. I'm a virgin.
Blessing, Brother Muta. Blessing, blessing.
Go, not tell him truth now. Me ask him about something where he say, and him bring a next man.
Right.
One tall Rasta.
Yeah, that is our,
all right, now. So, me know you now come and see me.
No, we don't come with the same.
All right, so tell me now, we are talking about morality.
Right.
And the lighting of the candle.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about.
That is what? The significance of it.
Okay, all right.
Right, I'm Rasta O'Shea.
Me know you are.
Right. I'm also an Ethiopian Orthodox Tehido.
Yes, me know that.
The significance of today,
yes.
It's not political,
yes.
Right? And it's not supposed to be bringing in political argument. The significance of today, Brother Muta, is that Paul Bogle was angry. And what has happened this day? Through the efforts of his great-great-grandson, commitments over the years, and since 2012, Brother Muta, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tehido priests came and blessed this gathering here.
Here.
And since that time, Muta, you've seen that Africa has now opened the gates of no return.
Yes.
What you've also seen is that every African, whereas religion faculties cannot unite them, because each African suffered an atrocity that one of their family was brought in enslavement. This is what has now united the African continent. So when we speak of lighting a fire, it's not just a candle. When we speak of the black man's spirituality, Muta, we speak of a greater spirituality that no nation can comprehend. And when we call our black nation to remember the suffering of 7,000 years of the African nation, Muta, it is not so significant and it must not be belittled. You must not bring in governmental discussion.
No, we're not. Wait.
It's the spirituality we're dealing with.
No, what you know? Him.
The commemoration of that spirit.
But you know, listen to me now. He know about the commemoration.
Right.
Yeah, but listen to me now. Him can't pass that, you know. Him can't pass that, you know.
Right.
Him don't start about, because me knows it's a commemoration.
Right.
But him can't pass commemoration. He might talk about what the commemoration is going to achieve. You're going to have people all over the world have burned candles.
Let me tell you what it's going to achieve, Muta.
No, wait. So where I say you're not all that?
I am in agreement with him.
All right.
Right?
Okay. So if
but we can show you the spirituality of the African.
I am not denouncing the spirituality.
So for the very first time, Africa, regardless of what tribe, culture, regardless of what religion, faculties they're in. Today, all of Africa is lighting a candle in remembrance of their own ancestors. So when that happens, my beloved, that is the beginning of the African unity, because Bob sang the song, how good and pleasant it would be in the presence of the Almighty to see the unification of all Africa. Well, what has happened? The Paul Bogle, this day here, every African state is lighting a fire and lighting a candle. So for the very first time, Muta, Africa is united. Now how good and pleasant it would be. Hold on, Muta. To see the unification of the Rasta man. The only thing can unify Rasta man is the faith of His Imperial Majesty, which is the Ethiopian Orthodox Tehido.
I am not a member of Ethiopia.
But that is your prerogative.
Most Rasta are not a member of
that is, well, I will say to you.
But you come back in a religion.
No, it's not religion, because you see, Ethiopian is not a religion faculty. Every other nation created religion from it. So let us know the foundation of economic and revelation.
You understand that now?
If you want.
But listen to me. You just mentioned say it's not religion.
No, it's not.
But you just mentioned the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And I tell you, say that is religion.
No, it's not.
It's what?
It's an incarnated reality.
No, Ethiopian Orthodox
Ethiopian Orthodox Tiahido.
It's Christian religion.
Not under values of the Grecian and the Roman. It is totally separate to it.
I am telling you that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church.
But not by the faculty of Grecian and Roman.
No faculty of
so what do you call Christianity? Do you know the interpretation of Christianity?
No, don't ask about interpretation. I am telling you.
Right.
Emperor Haile Selassie was a Christian, and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church. Don't tell me no foolishness about it's not a religion. It's a Christian church.
But where did it come from,
I don't care where it come from.
No, where did it come from? You must know.
It don't matter where it come from.
It came from Holy Mount Zion.
I don't care where it come from.
It's the ecumenical revelation of the all Africans.
It's a Christian church.
It's a spiritual incarnation.
I am asking it's a Christian church.
Muta, it's a spiritual incarnation.
So it's not a church.
If you want to define it.
You ever go to Ethiopia yet?
No, I have not been to Ethiopia.
You never go to Ethiopia.
But we know a lot about Ethiopia.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I'm never repeat it once because I'm not too much of it. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church. What that man is saying is not what you saying.
Right? What you saying?
No,
I say the same thing.
No, I'm not talking about the idea of tree. The idea of tree years. The idea of tourism and everybody buy. It's not the same thing you are saying.
It's happening, Muta.
No, I say it's not the same. I don't see no tourists there.
Muta.
I don't see no tourists there. I am not against the church.
Black man.
You know why I come here? You know why I come here? You know why we come here? We know how the history, right? You know why we come here? Right. We come here because the daughter is the program manager. The daughter is the program manager. Recognize that IRFM must be involved in this ceremony of lighting these candles. Alright, we don't come here to fight nothing, you know. Right. Yeah, but you say, oh, me thinking, you know, this like when we talk about his mother and his wife and something. You want to type on another level. So when this virgin talked a while ago, they carry to a level where they say, we must wait 3 years and see the spiritual, political, social feedback of what is done with the land. You come now and say, it's not a religion. But yet still you mention say Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
Must do.
The Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church.
But from what faculty?
I don't believe no faculty.
It comes from an African spiritual faculty.
No matter where it comes
so
from.
Therefore it is the only faith of the African, my beloved one. Without apology.
Yeah, what happened to your Yoruba tradition? What happened to your Yoruba tradition?
The Yoruba.
The Yoruba tradition.
The Yoruba tradition.
No, Yoruba.
You have Mahat.
What? No.
You have Kemet.
Yeah.
You have all of it.
No, not
but
about Egypt.
But it all came from Africanism.
What Yoruba, Akan and all these, right? Religious perspective have to do with the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
You find that all of them came from the teaching of Upper Kemet.
Yeah.
All of them.
And where the Ethiopian Orthodox Church come from?
The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, when you will say, is when Israel and the whole Hebrew situation. The Ethiopian faith was there before Egypt, Muta. Yes, it was.
The Ethiopian Church come from the Coptic Church in Egypt. Yes. And Haile Selassie take the church and nationalize it and call it the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. It is a Christian church, brethren.
My beloved,
you don't want to say Christian. You don't want to say Christian in your mouth.
It comes from
you don't want to say Christian in your mouth.
Upper Ethiopia.
I don't care where it comes from.
So long as it originated from there, then you cannot affiliate it with the Hebrew. You cannot affiliate with the Christian. What you are doing, Musa, you are not telling our people that the only ecumenical revelation that came into flesh of man, that came out Holy Mount Zion, that brought the teaching of Ethiopia to every nation, came from Africa. That's where it came from.
No, but you said the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And I tell you the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church. And you are saying, no, it's a different thing
from because that. Your interpretation. No,
you can't tell my interpretation. I never interpreted it.
Was it Imperial Majesty?
No, I never interpreted it. I never interpreted it. And you are interpreting.
You know me, I know you.
Yeah, but you are
no. You've always spoke against the church.
No,
you spoke against religion. You've done all these things.
I never interpret Greek and woman to you right as well. I said the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church. Haile Selassie was a Christian. Right? Yeah. You don't believe you accept Haile Selassie was a Christian?
I'm baptized.
No, I told you, I asked you if you believe that Haile Selassie was a Christian.
Yes, I don't believe. I know he was a Christian.
Alright. So if Haile Selassie was a Christian and
Jesus Christ,
moved the church from Egypt and carried go to Ethiopia, why is it that when I say the Ethiopian Orthodox Church is a Christian church, you get offensive?
No, I don't get offensive.
Yeah, because you mentioned things, so me never mention.
No, the reason
me
why.
never mention Greek.
Whenever you bring in religion,
which part Christianity come from?
Christianity?
Yes.
The foundation came from Africa.
No, where in Africa it come from?
Well, it would have come from Upper Kemet, Ethiopia. Yes.
Alright, you know what Haile Selassie said about that?
What did he say about that?
Haile Selassie said, Christianity comes to us from the Enoch who was baptized. You about that?
Yes, the Ethiopian eunuch.
And from him get baptized by Philip. The arts of we Ethiopians have found what they call it joy in that. Christianity never started Ethiopia. Haile Selassie tell you say it come to Ethiopia.
What you should say, move.
No, don't tell me should I say it.
What you should say to explain. No, what I would have said is this. In the last 2,000 years.
Yeah, you disagree with me. You disagree with me just a while ago.
I agree with you.
So Christianity never started Ethiopia, but it come into Ethiopia.
I agree with you.
You agree, say come into Ethiopia.
I agree with you. Right?
But you just say Ethiopia come from it.
No, but what I would say.
Let me wrap now. Let's go to some time now, Plateau.
Anyway,
I've done the program on island. What?
The program still on.
Mr. Kelly. Oh, we have to talk to somebody else.
We need to have a discussion about the
have no discussion.
The fate of Ethiopia.
Have no discussion.
The thing is about.
No, we're not getting the mic again.
No, I'm not saying we want the mic.
I remember we're here to commemorate.
Yes.
Not only the 400 or 500 years, but from when the Arabians came in and took Northeast Africa. The Grecians, so all the millions of black man and black woman that was slaughtered, we're here to remember that day and that occasion. And that is why we light a candle. Alright?
And I want the people to light the candle.
Must do.
Light the candle, right? Where you candle, Bridget?
You know, it's in the car motor.
Man, you put up the car.
Oh, okay, sir.
You are Mr. Kelly?
Yes, sir.
Principal of the Park High School?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright, we can ask you the first question. What subject you teach history? You teach history?
No, unfortunate. I'm a new principal.
It's a high school?
Yes, and the curriculum?
What is a new principal? How long ago?
2 years.
What? You don't know what I'm teaching?
No, I'm telling you that since I've been there.
Yeah.
History is not on the curriculum.
History is not on the agenda?
On the curriculum.
Oh, so them don't teach about Park and nothing?
Yes, social studies.
Oh, social studies, them teach Park. Okay. So in a social studies, where they teach about Park?
For example, his birth, where he came from, what he stands for, when they hang him and those things.
Okay. What he stand for? What you tell him to stand for?
Equal rights and justice.
Yeah, but that vague, that kind of vague.
Yes, and you have to have courage, strength of character, and you have to stand up for what you believe in.
Okay. It means you will kill some people.
Yes. If it reach that stage, that's so much shining about that. Certain things is like a divine intervention. Versus before you're conceived, like the father said, that is what you're for. So some persons they are on earth for a special reason. For example, Mandela could be the richest man. He could have a part of Africa, but he said, no, I'm here for my people. And the same thing for Paul Bogle. He was an educated person.
Of course.
Yes. And he could be a part of the establishment.
So you teach that at school?
Yes, most definitely.
And you have no paper where on the past the student them base up for them knowledge and understanding of these heroes, especially Paul Bogle, like when they come from school when in Paul Bogle High School.
Yes, yes, and but I want to take it to another level. I spoke to Mr. Bogle, was here?
Constantine.
Yes, yeah. And I asked the foundation for like a bust of Paul Bogle with a citation below, and I plan to get a museum, a Paul Bogle museum.
Where are you going to put that?
At the school.
Which school are you by the
Near by the roundabout.
Okay. When you are coming?
Yes.
Tomorrow again?
Yes, about 2 minutes from the roundabout.
So you plan to put a bus out there?
No, at the school, a bus.
Oh, at the school?
Yes, at Paul Bogle.
So why not put it out at the roundabout? Because everybody are coming there, that's it.
Well, we could have one at the roundabout and
one at the school.
Yes, because we need one at the school. Yes. Yes.
It's a very interesting thing that we don't understand the power of images, how images work in certain cultures. If you go to Europe, everywhere you go, you see a statue about the place, or someone of great influence on the society where you find yourself in France, Germany, Italian, I think we lose focus of how important images is and names. It's like how we still carry these names, St. James, St. Thomas, St. Elizabeth, St. Mary and all these things. We need to change them name there, you know, but them are going to say they don't cost too much and all that thing, but it has something to do with image.
Yes.
And we are trying to focus on the image. Alright. So Paul Bogle, we see him as a national hero. The student, what is this? I don't know if the student them ask questions. Them ask questions about what these people like Paul Bogle.
To be honest, not much, you know. You get no. It's like you have to be the person who have to be reminding them.
Yeah.
And this generation, all they want you about cartel and alkaline and those.
Yeah, but you don't teach that at school.
No.
Yeah, you don't teach that at school. That means something of the school have failed sometime, somewhere. You don't think so?
Napoleon, earthquake.
No, listen to them.
Yes.
No, I said to you that if the student them won't go on about vibes cartel and thing, and you not teach vibes cartel at the school, that means there's something wrong with the school.
I try not to
say that.
No, man, I agree with you. It also has to do with the home.
Yeah, but them spend more time at school than them.
Yes, but I think one of the biggest breakdown is the home. For example, the students, many times you have to force them to go to class. It's like they don't value education.
So you know, you as the principal, you know, discipline them.
Most definitely.
Like what you do? Lock them out of the school, what you do?
We have intervention. So you know, you would get persons from resource persons from outside, would have rap session and those type of things, you know, to enlighten them, to sensitize them.
And it work?
Most definitely.
It work.
For example, when I just came to Paul Bogle High School, we get students from the lower end, you understand?
Yeah.
And before I came there, a person should say, they call me Josie.
They call you Josie? You're the outlaw.
A DJ.
You're a DJ?
Yes.
Principal DJ.
You are a DJ?
You have a taxi?
Oh!
The taxi are the slang thing. Those will inspire me, you know. And when you look around, you think,
no.
As a matter of fact, with my personality, they listen to me. Yes, I can reach them where others fail. And if you look around, my student, everywhere you look, my students. Yeah.
All right. My daughter, my younger daughter is a teacher, and she uses music to teach them maths. And she get 98% pass in the exam. And she has shown me what the music do to really entice them into knowing it and understanding it clearly. We don't talk about now just frivolous, just I say something. But a man like Paul Bogle, and Nanny and all of the heroes they will come to somehow. You think there's some revolution supposed to take place in the school to make the student them grasp where you say more, because the whole time we are teaching now work with them new time.
As a classroom teacher, I got teacher of the year 2 times. I was at St. Thomas Technical High first, and I got a special award.
Why you left St. Thomas?
Well, I was a vice principal, okay. And the vacancy came up. Yes, and
more pay.
Closer to home.
More and
I got a special award I can recall for putting my music, the content, the content for the respective area in the music. And the student will understand. Both I said during the lunch session, my classes were so interesting. During the lunch session, I would say, I don't know about lunchtime, I don't crave, you know. At lunchtime, they won't leave. So dealing with this generation, and I'm going to tell you this, people, I'm a student, can attest to this. I enjoy my job and I look forward towards going to school every day. I enjoy it, I don't know what name stress. It's a strategy and your personality. Give respect and you get respect. You don't demand it, you command it.
I agree with that, but they want to wear the band, they want to know where to get out of the band. Tell the people know them not to come out of the band.
Education.
No, not only that. Listen, let me tell you something.
No, hold on, Bridget. No, you don't think of the reason, someone. Hold on, we're not giving my...
And I'm going to tell you why.
But you answer him and me talk to you. You are the man as Bridget.
I apologize.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yes, where I'm wrong.
You make the man deep in our conversation and then you ignore me. And you answer him. I'm here on the radio. I have millions of people stay right here.
I'm not perfect.
No, I'm not perfect either. Yeah. Alright. That is the same indiscipline you're trying to get out of the student. They look like student in the road off on you. Alright. Let's talk about Paul Book. Why we can't get a little the A, B, and C of Paul Book? You know them kind of way. I mean, I know it's a high school still, but since them don't reach nowhere. Because I asked some students the other day about all of the evil them, and them don't know nothing about them. Nothing. And as I see them high school too. But they have place up a Maroon town with them. Stuart town with them. I'm going to interview some students and I say, Paul Book, and I mention all of the evils them. And I say, you know anything about Paul Book? I say, you know anything about Marcus Garvey? I'm going to write down to the whole of them and them can't tell me nothing about them. None of them. So, I don't know. Maybe we need some teacher who know what to say. Because you can't teach something you don't know about. And I don't think enough teachers them in the school know about them man. What do you say about that?
I think the main thing is one of the main reasons is the home. The home and the school have to work together. Yes, we have to, research has shown that. They have to work together. For example, a child would come inappropriately dressed and you call in the parent and the parent come and then the following day the child returns inappropriately dressed. Even the bleaching, a child will come to school, bleach. When the parents come and you look at the parents, you don't know what to say.
Alright, well, wait now. Alright. We understand all of them social things, but we are talking about now knowing the history and the big war with Paul over there. I say to you now, I expect the school, the teacher, them, the parents them to have both Paul and things. But the school them are going now, and you have some natural heroes at Jamaica. Where I think, say, if you go to school, you're supposed to know about the history and the student at Paul, right? When I say that we know the parents them falter in certain things, but the school is there to learn certain things. And one of the things I think we need them there to learn, what I think is about the heroes of Jamaica. And we are saying now, if them there to learn about the heroes of Jamaica, we can blame the parents still, you know. But if you blame the parents, why them don't know about Paul Bogle? and why them don't know about Marcus Garvey. I bet you 1,000,001 picnic right now if you ask them parents about Paul Bogle, they don't know about Paul Bogle neither, and they don't know about Marcus Garvey neither. So I am thinking, say, since it's a name school, I think, say, the school supposed to have certain books and certain teachers in there that can teach about Marcus Garvey, because not every parents know about Marcus Garvey. But I think the school should know about Marcus Garvey.
Well, that's true. And to be honest, when you look at it, for example, the social studies book, I think there is material and a history of the eras, but probably how it's packaged. Yeah. Probably we need more reinforcement.
Come from St. Thomas and then lead the modern day rebellion and they must hang, and that is it.
Yes. So
but that's not what we are talking.
I think we need to.
Marcus Garvey come from St. Anne and him start organization him you and I here. And him go foreign, go prison and come back and form the political party. That kind of study Marcus Garvey. You have so much books today you can study Marcus Garvey. The philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey should have in a school. Race for should have in a school. Paul Bogle, the materials that can allow a student to understand why is it that these people is called national heroes. But them don't turn around and say, well, if Paul Bogle national hero, but if they can be national hero too. Yeah. They don't want them to be saying that. But little more than going to say it. So we are saying no. No, as it is now. Why is it that, as a principal, why we don't lobby the educational ministry? Since a Paul Bogle school you come from, say and tell them, say, enough literature is not in school about Paul Bogle, that we as a Paul Bogle High School can teach you people, teach you.
I think there is enough material, but how it's packaged.
Tell me how it's packaged.
Alright. It's in the book, right? And it is now time of technology. Probably they could package it more in videos and those type of things.
Alright.
You know?
Yeah.
So they always sell it to this generation. Could be different from how it was done in the past.
And you suggest that to them?
Yes.
You suggest that to them?
Yes. Because I even wrote letters.
And what them say?
Well, promise. So I'm gonna do. I've done follow and I'm doing follow. And because if you have that, you know,
yeah.
It's like it become a part of them after a while, you know. Yes. As you enter the school,
yes. I agree with that.
Yes, and it becomes a part of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not really teaching, even as it's to be effective. It's not effort alone, but to make it effective, the strategy that you use to make it effective.
Give thanks, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And when the stage show start, I hope to hear your DJ.
So you not give a beat?
No, it's a pull him up. Because I'm going to go on the show.
Most definitely, Mr. Mota Baruka, you're going to hear Jonah Wales. Son of the Colonel.
Mota.
You will want DJ. You will want DJ. You not give no peace. Oh, you like your daughter come and say, she give a little piece.
And
see the stage there? See the big sound system set up there? A big things are going on, so when the candle them light. So we are hoping to see Josie Wales.
Jonah.
What do you look like, Josie Wales?
Sound.
No man, but you're ugly than Josie Wales.
When self-praise is no recommendation, you call the shots.
Oh, yes, I was self-praise and a recommendation, man. I'm not a recommend everybody now.
That's right. Keep doing it.
Recommend everybody. Anyway, give thanks, Bridget.
Yes, one love.
Yeah, man. That was Mr.
And
so your first name?
Kerry Kelly.
Kerry Kelly.
Yes.
You relate to Ellis Kelly?
Well, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? You're supposed to have a brother and you're not sure. That means not something I'm going to say no about the father or the mother.
I'm going to give her a link. I'm going to give her a courtesy call more time.
Okay. All right, sir. Yes, that's the principal of Palmbogle High School. Okay, so what want to talk to this man here, you know, because he's my cameraman every time we see him. He's my cameraman. Come on, that's Commemoration. This is our next. This man is a part of the foundation. You know, so I think I hear when it start the foundation. Because everywhere we see the foundation, I usually see it all.
Well, I am connected to the foundation since 2012.
Okay.
When I saw the need to bring Dr. Julius Garvey to Jamaica to celebrate his father one
and just get an award.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2012, and him came here. Him came here.
No, Dr. Garvey didn't come here. No.
Okay. So let me ask you now. What is the, well, I ask them question already from the last man.
But ask me any question you want, I will surely answer you the best way I can.
Alright, I'd love to hear that. So you have to tell me now. We know about the commemoration and the candle, very significant. I am totally with that.
Thank you very
burn of the candle. And if you can get people from other parts of the globe to do the same thing at the same time, that is saying no. Because you know them say, the Chinese, them say, I don't know what it go, them say, if all the Chinese people them make one jump, the earth will tilt.
Over a billion people.
Yeah, over a billion people, them jump. That's what them say still, you know, me don't know about that, see, but I can tell you what them say. So, when I say, how far are you going with this candle? How far?
Well, to be honest with you, after joining the Palmbogle Foundation in 2012, I saw the need as a Jamaican to play my little part in doing whatever I can. And I did that much with exposing the foundation and the activities of the 1865 rebellion to the wider world. So a lot of people are now comfortable with watching what is happening in St. Thomas. My input is to see that all of St. Thomas, not just the people in St. Thomas, but the people of Jamaica can get an understanding and come together as one and make a great big difference for their own community.
So you know, you have a political agenda.
Well, I don't like politics anymore.
No, I know, maybe you don't like it.
No. If it was politically motivated, I would not be here.
Oh, yeah?
No, because both political parties have deceived the people.
No, but you're not familiar with the political party, you know. Maybe you can start
Well, if you start a political party, the mood, I've been following you for years and voting for you.
Not to do with me, you know. I'm not you have put it back for me, you know.
No, I would never.
You would start a political party.
No, I wouldn't, yeah.
So, you know, say the political party as a man who up front and thing, well known in the community and thing, you could have really lobby for certain things.
Well, we don't have to do it as politicians, you know. We can do it as citizens of this country.
Yes.
And I have exposed a lot of atrocities about the Palmbogle situation in comparison to what is happening down here in Stony. The bathroom facilities don't work, there's no running water.
After 21 years?
We've done many videos. I've been down there videotaping. The bathroom don't work. There's no memorabilia of Palmbogle. There's not even a portrait of Palmbogle down there in the facility. In a Stony Gut. And so, we have numerous amount of buses that come from time to time. Just the other day there was this big massive write-up in the newspaper. Where are the pamphlets? Where are the memorabilia? Where are the pictures? Where's everything else? The bathroom facilities? Where are these things for Palmbogle? But you know why they don't do it in no time?
No, we are saying why them don't do it, why the foundation don't.
Well, we're working assiduously to get that done. Definitely, we're working on it. Definitely.
So what it takes to get it done?
Unity of the people. The unity of the people. Remember the Palmbogle Foundation, as much as I know, don't have a lot of money to deal with that. But if we can use
you ever have a drive yet to get the money to just do that?
No. But we're planning it. We're planning on it now. After this commemoration day of October 24th, then a lot of things is going to happen. We've opened the roads to Ghana. You know, we invited Kwaku. all the way from Ghana to come down here. That's why they're doing this big, massive candlelight vigil in Commemoration. As we speak, they're getting ready. And they probably started already.
Them start already.
Right, you know the time.
Them are 6 hours in front of you.
So they're already lit candles over there.
You have any video where I'm going on there now? Like, anybody send you any clip?
No, not yet.
Your WhatsApp?
No, not yet.
Alright, so you say you need to do a move to really fix the toilet down there, so. But you don't really want to call for the politicians to do that.
No, we can do it ourselves.
Yeah, that's not saying.
That are the Marcus Garvey said we must do for self-reliance.
And how long will the toilet stay that way?
Well, it's been a while.
Like how long?
About 4 or 5 years of that.
And you can't collect. You don't never have a drive to fix it.
We're going to be doing that now.
So why never did before?
Well, nothing happens before the time.
So when
but you know, but we're working.
This is when people lapse in where they're supposed to do.
They say nothing
happened before the time. So next year come now here, them say what nothing happened before the time, another time.
But we've been exposing it every time.
It's like a man get lit down by a car and dead. They must say, well, you must be by a car and come dead in a plane.
I'm saying a film time. There's no such thing as untimely death.
So what I say now is that if that don't want to fix down so, and it's part of the whole thing a stolen gun. You say, oh, the phone.
They don't even have light down there.
Who's them?
We don't even have light down there.
Yeah. And the foundation is not strong enough for lobby to get light down there.
It comes to a certain point. Yeah. The place is wired, but it's not connected.
Yeah, I'm sure you're connected. You're serious?
Yes.
Not even light down there?
We have done many videos on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, put in Claude Sinclair, you'll see.
Yeah, what I said.
We try to expose it as much as we possibly
at 4 years and the foundation can do something to get that done, 4 years.
We're definitely going to be doing it now. Since this big thing started,
Not all to that, not all you to that.
Yeah. Claude Sinclair.
Because I know Claude more than I know that.
Thank you. I will work.
Next year we'll come around. IRFM will always be supporting this.
And we give thanks.
Yeah, we are supporting. And we are saying, next year we'll come around and we are hoping to see the toilet fix.
You know what we also spoke about most of it seriously? A statue to be erected in Stony Gut.
Oh, I know that was statue at the school.
Yes, one in Stony Gut, because not even a bus, they don't even know what Paul Bogle looks like. We're not even sure.
Yeah.
Thomas Jennings, you know of the story. A man came up to me and said, who's this on your chest? I said, well, it's Paul Bogle.
One time I think say I honored that. And the government that copied this man. But no, come realize. But when I say to you, God, next year, you're going to carry me go up there.
Most definitely.
I'm not going to sit silent in public.
The tanks are there, you know.
Like how you're shaking.
No. I will. You put me on a task now, so you know I can't follow it.
You know, I'm not like a talk to people and I'm tell you all this highfalutin thing and nothing now come out.
No, it will happen.
Yeah, it's like highfalutin.
I'm a man of
action. Yeah, 3 years time, 21 years, this, that.
That's why I don't like politicians. I'm a man of action.
Yeah, so, to me know you, come and see you.
Around.
Yes, a video and thing and yeah.
Not just videoing, capturing the
moment. Yeah, your actions is very low.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so when I say 1 year time, I expect to come here. I'm going to talk to you, say, you know, so last year you were talking.
We're going to be inviting you to some of the functions down here.
And I will come. I will come in here. The last time I was here, somebody teased me for
I remember. Did you get it back?
What did you get it back? I sent Thomas this up. I sent Thomas this up. So we must get back a phone.
Or else.
Maybe if our kids still won't get it back, but I said,
or else.
You understand? The last thing I woman look at me and say, don't worry yourself, Mota. You will get back your phone. Yes. And share a police. So you know, so we get back your phone. Yeah, so next year
we're gonna go working on it.
You gotta work with Tons and Time. And the Bridget Orthodox Church, man.
Most definitely.
You gotta ask it.
We have done things on the 10th and the 11th religiously.
Yeah,
but we need, you know, the 10th is the candlelight vigil and the 11th is the walk. We need to be doing other things now. You know,
when you say
away
other
from
things like that.
like fundraising
More
efforts,
than
fundraising drive,
more than
symbolic
symbolism.
things, yes.
And that I not try to get out of them two words in there.
I promise I will
The symbolism is good. But when you get down to pass the symbolism now, yeah, you know something.
Without faith without action is not
Symbolism is good for the mind, you know. But you see the mind and your body now work with your mind. You go with your mind. See, so I'm glad how you talk, I'm glad to say, well, yeah, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
Thank you very much for giving me the platform.
Your shoes are going to burn quick though. But not till you say, yeah man, we give thanks.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes.
Alright,
that was that.
Claude Sinclair, aka Big Stone. Thank you, Mota.
Big Stone, the producer, man.
Yeah.
You still have produce music, man?
Yes, I do.
Are you produce just in that show?
Yes.
Then how we not get it?
Well, it will be officially launched and
officially launched, that 2 years now.
Yeah, but it will be done the completion of the album, 15 tracks. The title of it is Sweet Reggae Music.
The tune what you do. I'm in love with a Rasta man.
Right. It will be released officially.
So I'm not going to release.
No man, you can get it. I want to give you the entire album so you can have guidance and raw deal and look to these and
one tune you ask when you have to promote a whole album.
It'll be good to have the album though.
Eh?
It'll be good to have it.
I want to album there. I talk about me, I said the one tune there.
Okay,
so she tell me say it done. She tell me say it done.
Mix master.
She just see me yard, you know.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, she just see me yard and she and my wife is good friend. And when we go to Africa, South Africa, we see her and them things. She'll take care of me still, you know.
You say that. You say when she call you up and big you up in South Africa, you say
yeah, on the stage.
Yeah.
Alright. Me come behind that. But what I say, that tune there.
I'm in love with it.
Yeah. You know, say I'm a South African Martello Queen, I'm a tune and I'm in love with her.
Yes, I know, I see that.
The Martello Queen. Yeah, well, that tune, I don't really love to play it. And it's a reggae tune too. Yeah, I should have a reggae song. It's all a reggae song. So as a producer, I'm not asked for it.
It will be done. Consider it done.
You can't allow the whole play. I'm not pay you for giving.
No, Piola. Piola.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Ariel Fam.
This is a stepping razor. The art of war. We're there with you. Well, a long time we don't play a tune, I tell you. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I said no. We want to find out proper tune here. Because if we can find out proper tune.
I was asking you to ask how long we have to wait to get the statue.
How long we wait to get by the statue? Them say they know about the statue.
I want it back.
Who said they want about the statue?
We said so.
Not that one. No, wait there. The amount of people will say we a while ago don't represent the whole of the people that are missing their song.
We started. You don't want that same.
But you want that statue, sir? So who are commission a man to do it?
Who know Paul Boger?
Who want commission a person to do that statue?
Who know Paul Boger?
Eh?
What Paul Boger look like? Which one are the real one? $2 one?
No, to the picture with my pants. We're clouded there, we're clouded. Cloud have a picture of Paul Boger on him chest.
This one here is the real Paul Boger. The one with the dais wasn't it.
Yeah, so them can't do that.
For real. I said a real Paul Boger.
Alright, so the people are telling more about the statue. Stop fighting for
them know where Paul Boger buried.
They know where Paul Boger buried. They can't do it. It's part of it.
Pick up a Stony God.
Stony God.
Round this out. Paul Boger don't bury a Stony God. Round this out. Round back at the house.
My make woman them chance to Stony God.
Don't bury up there. I saw me a little pit there, bro. Me a 55-year-old now. I hear for him to go back. Yeah.
Him say I'm going to show me Paul Boger bury up a Stony God.
Yeah?
And you want a lady there ball out and say, put him not bury up a Stony God. Stop in either man and you got that. No,
run behind the courthouse. Right behind the courthouse run here, sir. Yeah, right behind the courthouse run here. So going back to the two ways up as Tony got, I have Paul Bogle grandson, and see up here, so not Paul Bogle. They need to know the history. I went here. So there's a... Don't run yet. Yeah.
Oh, you can't tell me how I never dismiss you. I never dismiss you. So you say Paul Bogle bury around this one?
Yes, that's what I was here.
Alright. And one time, I with him, because we see the condition around this one, we did have a Sunday thing. We will come. You was there. I would chop out the whole place because we are saying, look how them make Paul Bogle burial ground stay. Yeah. So when you break into that, you say Paul Bogle burial out away. He's gone. Okay. Alright. Well, I kind of agree with you still. I don't know, but I agree with you. Yeah. You see bone? Did you go to bone?
No, we can't find a bone there.
Why?
We can't find that because
Edward said I got taken
to so we never find nothing there but around here.
You know you can't find it. You have a machine that you can work and go and find the bone. Yeah. But you look like you related to the woman for the stone. Yeah? You want to see a talk the other lady over there, so it looks like a tour to start the stone throwing.
Yes!
Where the officer them there?
A play stone we used to break in St. Thomas. That's why I must go back there. A play stone we used to break in St. Thomas. My mom used to break stone to make the grind. When I was a little girl, my mom put me down and I can remember.
You know them can't hear you when you say, come on, son.
Alright, I'm coming.
Come on, son.
Where you say though? You look like you threw the second stone.
Alright. The born 1964.
No, I know why you're
born.
born.
Come on, let me tell you too. The owl.
64 make you old.
I go round the back and look round the back, I see some grave round the back. And they let me know that it's Paul Bogle around there. I didn't learn that Paul Bogle was in Eastern St. Thomas. He's right here. And I feel like he was coming to St. Thomas too, because I passed here 2 weeks ago and I was looking up here and I said, no, Paul Bogle statue is supposed to come back in here. Whether him look like a that is another nigger man, just like Paul Bogle come back here, so none up so. And I was learned that Paul Bogle grandfather up there for true. So Paul Bogle up a stone gun. So how comes Paul Bogle did up there and 14 years gone ago and we never learned that before? So he was up there. Why we want to learn now?
Well, you have to ask the Rastaman.
Rastaman, where you get that from? We were born in St. Thomas.
Alright. The Rastaman are iron, you want to stone?
Rastaman! Alright, it's stone now.
You're calling police them already, so we're not bad at
it. No, no,
no, man, the police, if you forget me to man. So we say, yeah. I'm a bad girl and I play a song.
Alright, so it's a
bad. I know where, the stone right now.
Paul Bogle grandson very up this one.
Yes.
And Paul Bogle very round.
Yes. We learn. So hold on, the history is I learned that no one, no one can trick me again and tell me say. Yeah man, we want to put back this. You see that man, I respect Joe. Jaja send your hand. I respect and love you hear your thing every night. More time I listen to you. Tears on my eyes and at first I can talk to you. The second time in St. Thomas I see you. I see you right there one night. That time about 20 years old. Over there, when I was on the stage talking to the nation, and the second time I can talk to you, and I respect you, and I love you everything, and I always tears on my eyes. Yeah, Susan, yeah. God give you a gift, and I can tell you that by myself. Yeah, my madam and everybody know, half know, you see you? You're special. And keep blessed. Right. Stay blessed. All right. Gina says, big up yourself.
They're real Paul Bogle there.
Watch out, chest, no? Your chest pass your breast. No, but don't throw the stone for me. Don't throw the stone for me. We are telling you what I already say. Here we go. I'll carry up here.
Seen bondage right through these years, fussing and fighting among ourselves, nothing to achieve this way is great. brothers, get up and fight for your rights. My sisters took us away from civilization, brought us to slavery, this big plantation, fussing and fighting among ourselves. Nothing to achieve this way is worse than hell. I say, get up and fight for your rights, my brothers. Get up and fight for your rights, my sisters. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Took us away from civilization, brought us down here in this big plantation, fussing and fighting among ourselves.
Yeah, this is a stepping razor, the art of war. So we're going to stir up our station now because I wish you gone. Yo, where the lady gone? Why that lady had tell me something? That lady had tell me something about Paul Bogle bones. No one hear what she really has said because that sound away. I bet you never hear all them things because the first time I hear this now, what she has said. The virgin they say Paul Bogle bone the upper Tony cut. No, wait, no, I never said. Not tell you what the brother said. The two daughters them say the bone them round this up. So you have a different reasoning. Alright, so tell the people them what you are saying now.
McCoy.
No, tell them who name McCoy.
Derek McCoy. He's the driver. We went
No,
in
wait,
search
the driver
of,
for who?
We went in search of
No,
Paul
tell me
Bogle.
that Derek McCoy, who's the driver for what?
He's the driver for his car. He's the one that takes us. Derek McCoy drive his car because we were in search of
Paul Bogle, okay, alright. Yeah.
And then when we reached Trelawney, we asked information. And when we reached Trelawney, they said we reached Freeman, the white man's house. And when we reached the white man's house, we went right in the white man's house. And the white man, them killed him a few days before we reached there.
Kill who?
The white man, Freeman.
Kill who? People kill the white man.
Yes.
Yes.
Into his house, because we went in there and we saw all the blood.
Oh, yeah?
That's right. And when we get there, we asked the helper who was living there about Paul Bogle. She said,
that Trelawney you talk about?
Yes, Trelawney. 1965, Edward Seaga.
No, who's the helper? Who's the helper?
She lived in Trelawney.
And you asked them about Paul Bogle?
Yes.
Because you went in search of Paul Bogle? Okay.
Mackay taped everything in and take picture everything in
Yes.
Right? Jackie Roots was there too.
Okay.
So we go in search for Paul Bogle. Now, Paul Bogle bones, they are in England. The Queen sent for Paul Bogle. And he's in England. That is what we know.
Alright. Paul Bogle in England?
And Paul Bogle bones are in England.
Watch out, wait there. Me not tell nobody say when them say no go sell it. I am totally blind to all about it. I just want to know. Yeah, me know. So you say no Paul Bogle bones are England?
Yes.
The Queen. No, wait there, Jackie.
Jackie was in
no, call Jackie night yet.
Yeah.
No call Jackie night yet, man. Because I want to talk to Jackie about it because it seems like Jackie the dead.
Yes, she was
Jackie
there.
the dead, right?
Yes.
And you say no Paul Bogle.
I was there.
And you say no about, she tell you say,
yes,
the lady tell you say Paul Bogle bones.
That time Mackay interview her.
Yeah.
And we stand there, right?
Mackay's Mackay, you know.
That's right, Mackay, yes.
Yes.
Then with Mackay.
And you say Paul Bogle bones.
where is Paul Bogle? And the girl tell us that the framer, the white man, put him into a box, a lead box, and ship him off to England to the Queen. The Queen sent for Paul Bogle from 1965. Jackie can't finish that because she did it.
Jackie, you want to finish it? Come, Jackie. Because this I get thicker and thicker now. This I get thicker. Alright.
Yes.
Greetings all.
Yeah.
When we came here, we were told that the bones were taken up from round there and scattered on some sidewalk down the road, but they could not find his skull. It was not all of his bones. It's the skull that they couldn't find. And the skull and bone thing, you don't know. So they stole his skull and we were led to a place called Green Park.
Who thief his skull?
It was, we understand there's a little man named Ray Fremer. Ray Fremer lived in a place called Green Park, which is close to Kerry Park. No, it's outside of Falmouth.
Okay.
Past the children's home and then you take a right at Green Park.
Okay.
He lived alone in a big old house. We found a man with a bunch of keys that you couldn't lift up. And these keys were said to be keys for coffins and all of that because he was kind of into that thing. We even found lots and lots of headstones and parts of tombs down in a Martabray River bed.
Yeah, but tell me, but we don't tell about the Paul Bogle.
The Paul Bogle skull was sent to England.
The skull was sent to England?
The skull, yeah.
And them never find the other rest of the body?
Well, we hear that the rest of the bones were scattered and some were totally interred, they were mixed up, yes. Because remember, it was mass grave in a motor.
Oh, it was told that?
It was buried in a mass grave, you know, so it was a lot of bones that
they mixed up. Them never did no DNA test on them.
No.
So you have said the skull and the Queen called for bone?
This is what we were told. I spoke with even one of the old lady. I said, how you know Paul Bogle's skull is different from George William, from all of the others? Somebody said Paul Bogle had in one gold tooth.
That's right.
And another one said George William Gordon's skull had on the little wire glasses. So those two skulls were removed from here and we heard that they were shipped off to England. We can't confirm it, we weren't there. This is what we were told. Maka Ben went with us, he drove us.
You are going far away.
Yeah, he drove us to Chilon.
You're going way out there, so now.
Yes, so
which politician are you going to skull?
This is what we need.
No, who are you going to name? Because you're going way over there, so now. You don't know about that?
No, just like I said, we came on the insert of team and we were told that the bones were exhumed and thrown on the sidewalk. I don't know how many.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So
yes, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if it went to England, we were told so. I don't know who can. So we don't know where it is. But that's what we were told. Some women told us, older women said that they were actually on spot when the bones were exhumed, and they had stories of skulls coming up in the mouth full of dirt, which means they were probably buried alive and all of that. And it was kind of heartbreaking. We all mourned and cried.
You know, the other day I pick up some man when I come here and I say a bone.
Human bone?
Well, I don't know. I want to test it. Who
knows? Let me know when you find the result.
Because that's a very interesting story.
Yes, that's what we heard.
It's a very interesting story.
Because we're always on the insert of
But how we ever know now, say, in bone there in England?
I don't know Buckingham Palace.
What a terrible thing that.
I don't have a link with Buckingham Palace, I can't tell you that. That's the story. Give thanks. Listen.
I tell you, say, it take you to come and St. Thomas to hear them dumpy story. I believe you or no. Where we are
right through these years, fussing and fighting among ourselves. Nothing to achieve this way is worse than hell. Get up and fight for your rights, my brothers. Get up and fight for your rights, my sisters. Took us away from civilization, brought us to slavery.
your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Yes, well, Mr. Leslie Alexander Reed. I've heard you on the radio many times, you see?
Yeah.
And I respect you very much.
Yeah.
And I go for a decent person that has a Rastafari respect, even though from a Roman Catholic background.
Yeah.
And I must tell you that there are some Catholics who believe in liberation, demonstration, uprising. And in Samuel, the great Samuel Carter, you have white Jesuits who flee to Jamaica from persecution by and from Israel. So it's not only black people under slavery, you have white people that is under that thing. And you understand, and it's the principality and power. But what we are saying now, in respect to Paul Bogle, first I'll do not comment on that. I'm going to comment on Paul Bogle. I respect Paul Bogle.
Around the corner and come back round.
No, yeah, that will come back on Paul Bogle.
No, but more you go right to the corner.
All right, now, the part speak about Paul Bogle. We need to throw away, when is it we're going, even Protest in Miller announced it, right? That we should, when we're going to get republic, to not using the Queen of England, and we could have a presidential system. You know that we could still have the two political parties.
Yeah, we have a presidential.
Yeah, and
like
a presidential,
America.
right.
And,
yes, and it would be an independent thing issue to be our independence. Because even United States of America that deal with liberty and democracy, they don't use the Queen, you know.
Yeah, it's a republic.
Yeah, right, it's a freedom with
just
democrats
like
that's coming,
Trinidad is a republic.
Right. So I think IRFM should start with a letter of signing some petition. So how can go around include the NIA, Mr. Stephen Gold and those going.
You realize that IRFM is a radio station, Bridget?
Yes, I know, yes. And it could to get the petition, the Queen.
So why you don't start it?
Hold on. I have a plan to join the of the NIA, Mr. Trevor Monroe, of the integrity and everything. Actually, I want to say these things, and I want to meet Mr. Stephen Gold about this issue. And we're going to put it together to see how we can get this together and one system. You understand? Now, going back to the thing, the needs that they are coming about, you see?
The what?
The need fact, the identification thing. I heard that.
What about that? A Paul Bogle?
I want to tell you what's happening.
Yeah, but you're going
I'm coming back to Paul Bogle.
Yeah. But think you'll have a talk about Paul Bogle.
I'm going to come back to Paul
Somebody else they want to talk about Paul Bogle. You're going to go play around and lives. And they are going to pregnancy.
No. I'm coming back to Paul Bogle. I want to say to Paul Bogle. No, what I said today, we are here, heard on the news about 2 days ago that through they know they're opposing the thing, the new ID system that we have. They say they're going to print in the United States and they're going to have every information about ID going to come global. So every information about it, imagine all that are packaging like authorization. So that is another thing up to this, and we're not going to escape from that. But anyway, coming back to Paul Bogle thing now. Yes, now the statue that is moved there, see? Many, I must tell you, many people who love Paul Bogle are concerned about the Mughal statue, and I get to understand that I know some of the so-called blacks are hypocrites. Don't mind a bit if the Paul Bogle statue not here because some of them talk about globalization and then say no.
I'm here talking.
No, not you. Yes.
I'm here talking.
Yes. No, they might say, oh, true global, and they learn about more Arabs, India, and the statue of Simon Bolide, and about Christopher Columbus and all those things. So they have to know the culture to respect that. Respect the statue that the statue must be done just like
They were them never against the statue. They must say the statue that was not a representative of Paul Bogle.
Yes, right.
So you need to talk about the statue also. So you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then as long as you take to come to that.
Yes, I agree with that. I respect that, you know, as I said, right? And it's not that I don't like when people, I like the color, I go against flesh and blood, you know, but principle.
Yeah, but you're going to Bible, that's no again, no, yeah.
Christopher Columbus.
What, somebody else?
We must go and fight the Paul Bogle, like how Paul Bogle fight to ancestors, you know. We should have fight the Paul Bogle and kill all some white people, you know. We will do too much talking every year.
Okay, alright. First of all,
the Paul Bogle, we know. Them a great warrior.
We want to tell you that Mr. Constantine Bogle is saying that if all those who are taking part in the candlelight must meet at the square No. The roundabout, no. Yeah, this is the square. Yeah. So meet at the roundabout. And the lighting of the candle will commence. Okay, what is this? This is passport. Look like my first passport. This is a Tilda Bogle. Okay, she bought 1935. So when the people ever say they have past village, she bought 1935. How is it? You're old man. Yeah. Are your grandson live? Alright. Alright. I see Mark Zetilda Bogle. What that mean?
My name is Zetilda Bogle. My father name is Walfred Bogle. My grandfather name Charles Bogle. Right?
So who were the people to Paul Bogle? Who was there?
My grandfather, father, Paul Bogle is to Brother Child.
Yeah, come again. Girl.
My grandfather.
Yes.
Father.
Yes.
And Paul Bogle.
Yes.
It's two cousins, two Brother Child.
Okay, cousin.
Yes.
Okay.
That is my grandfather. And he's away in there and tell me he come. He said, sell bees. Paul Bogle was goat. And Paul Bogle a Baptist man. And he said that when this thing, I'm coming to you. When this thing started, I was in Kingston in a slamming club. And he's there, they come and take all these things. And when I got home one day, I saw one hill below underneath my door. So I must come to Baran here. When I got here, Bogle that side, that side, William that side, Bogle in white. This is start from. I don't remember the name because I couldn't find it again. And yes, my father Bogle now is my father. Two Brother Child. You have a brother named Moses.
Who, Paul Bogle?
Yes.
Him said that. The brother said that.
And by that now, my grandfather tell me that. When you in our bed, when you in, I'm coming to you.
No man, take your time, man.
When he is there, they come and get him and say, it's Paul Bogle. But he and my color I fear. And Paul Bogle black. And then let him go. They went to Fletcher land with William Garden. And they went go in our bed. Right? And then take Paul Bogle, then forget Paul Bogle now. And came to the first thing, when Paul Bogle did that, get ready, and look after the people at the front. Paul Bogle say he can't take it because things that working right. And he walked through yes, what I mean, and go to the Spanish Town. And when he went to Spanish Town, he was my grandfather telling me talking. I put nothing, I take out nothing. And when he went to Spanish Town, the high first that, and me talking, nobody not pay no mind. And he talking, say, all right, I go home and go farm my battalion. And he go home, stick, gun, buckle, everything. And he say farming one battalion. The people, then that's why you see out of Golden Grove, you see those also out there, big plantation where the people was working and getting in it. And then they get the little barrack. And from the barrack, Papa come, and grandpicnic come until they got and it's the place they grand is there. You understand? And then now, they said that they never put up with this thing. And they start to make the rebellion. And
enough is enough.
And go on to tell they can't call Bogle and go hang him. I cannot doctor. And go hang him. And that is it. Yes. I don't know what everybody does. But I know that my grandfather, as you know, and tell us, he says sell bees, and when he go down the country and come back, It's a backbreaking. When you piece them, let them over railway. And in the country bridge, when you see them, you take them cocaine. And in fire. And yes. And in fire. And my grandfather said, he said, don't let them be alive. And the light out in me, Stefan. No, Selma said he put a rope on them and start off them in first and told him. Why he's selling bees and right from backbreaking in Sidon. Yes.
It's a very interesting story. Alright, so tell me something now. You never use a passport,
no, I never use it. Because the children, them the young in foreign.
Okay.
You understand?
Them say what passport they got them was send for you. Them say them never send for you.
Yes.
Okay. But they never get to send for you.
They never get because things wasn't right and it's a true land.
So them come back, them ever come back to Jamaica?
With the passport here?
No, I mean the family are foreign. They never come back to Jamaica.
Yes, and if I tell you then take me, they go to England.
Okay.
Collect clean police, me and the policeman take picture. And the free police. Because it's part of the big elephant thing. And the place is there.
So let me ask you, which part you think passport was?
Well, in that scenario, I don't know what he wants. I don't know where he's with. Here, Gagan, never tell me to was does too. You know, he gets all and, you know, but I never hear about that. I not put in and I take out. I take away and tell me. Because when you be ready, you go and go, but I'm going to start to see shade rat and cup and the bend to go. Yeah? So, when we start, I just and this is my grandson. That is Jungle King's son.
Jungle King? Who is Jungle King?
Fireman.
I don't know who names son.
He's fireman mother.
I don't know who names son.
Fire dancer.
Fire dancer.
Oh, that bridge there? Oh, okay, alright.
He's a mother.
Yeah? Yeah, man, I know him, man. I know him, man. I know say all laps, man.
The dance is coming out.
The dance coming out?
Yes, I have a group.
So you put on a song and all you dance?
Yes, right now. Chicken your foot. When coming out, me don't know me have foot.
When you dance coming out, you don't know foot disappear?
Yes. That's right now. If you like that.
Put on feet. And I take responsibility for that.
Who does know about Bagan? No Bagan. Bagan is the
You try to call the ambulance, man. Can you call the medics?
Put on a coming and song.
Bacteria. Bacteria. Arsenic green.
Help her up there, help her up there, help her up there.
Okay, go and have a dance coming up.
They want to help.
Whoa! Why people in a real life, they don't know what they're going to see. boy, may I tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just listened to Muta Baruka. I myself was a part of Muta's audience, along with Constantine Bogle, and of course along with we're here and we're getting ready to go now to the roundabout down by Goodyear's Oval, and we're going to be a part of the fire baptism march. I light my candle, ladies and gentlemen. I light my candle because Paul Bogle died for us. I light my candle because 500 million Africans died for us. I'm here today at the fire baptism, joining the march and walking to Warren Bay.
ever-living one. Paul Bogle went upon the cross, martyred himself for I and I. Can't take it forward, take it forward.
of Paul Bogle, Constantine Bogle. We're here marching because of his great-great-grandfather and what he did 154 years ago. How do you feel, Mr. Bogle?
Great.
To see what you have conceptualized 21 years ago. Today, the world has come out to honor your vision and the vision that you saw with your great-great-grandfather and the over 500 million Africans who died as a result of slavery. What are your thoughts today?
The Jah be the glory. Great things he has done. Sure. Give thanks to the Father that I have chosen as a vessel to carry forth this message at this time. And so many people around the world can see the light and participating in this event. So we give thanks. Give thanks to God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Yeah, the creator of the universe.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from Constantine Bogle, the great-great-grandson of Paul Bogle, and how he feels about conceptualizing an idea and make an idea into a dream and make a dream into a reality. We all can be somebody. We all can play a part. We all can do our little part. I'm doing my little part. Patrick Roman is doing his little part. Because we believe that one day, Africa will be free.
Look how we are when I hide the face. Look how we are ready.
You don't even respect Paul Bogle. They hide your face. You don't even respect Paul Bogle. They hide your face. We don't want to talk to us. Africa is liberated. Today, we are here representing the over 500 million Africans who died as a result of slavery. Paul Bogle did the unthinkable. He did the unthinkable, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to celebrate the life, not the death. We're here to celebrate the life of the Right Honorable Paul Bogle, freedom fighter, Rastafari.
Yo, come catch that one.
Today marks the 154th anniversary of the murder of Paul Bogle, our Right Honorable hero. Ladies and gentlemen, today is history as the Paul Bogle Foundation walked from the roundabout by Goodyear, walking assiduously and tirelessly to congregate in the memory and the life of our hero. Paul Bogle is one of the greatest human beings that was ever born on the planet Earth. Patrick Romance lived all the way in Kingston to make sure that he pays his respect. Every single Jamaican is here to honor. If they're not here in the flesh, they're here in the spirit to honor our hero, Paul Bogle. And the people of St. Thomas, I just want to let you know that I feel your pain, because I know over 8,000 people from St. Thomas was brutally murdered leading up to this day. We feel your pain. We know that 437 of you are buried behind this courthouse there. We hope as Mutabaruka has given me the charge to honor the 437 African St. Thomasian that was murdered as a result of slavery. Mutabaruka, we thank IRFM for their work in bringing this to light. We've seen people from all walks of life. Kaboom, enough love and respect. Mutabaruka, we love you. Thank you for taking off your time and your energy, sir, to come here in the rain for your hero and our hero, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. We're going to move to the podium where the official ceremony starts. Thank you for the gathering. We just want you to know, as a result of Paul Bogle, the Jamaica Constabulary Force that I was a member of for 5 years was born. The Jamaica Constabulary Force owed a great gratitude. My career as 18 years old owed a gratitude to Mr. Paul Bogle. We go to the stage. True hero. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not ask this senator to come here, but because of his allegiance to honesty, to truth and justice, we have no other than Senator, Member of Parliament, Mr. Damien Crawford. Give him a big round of applause. He come to bring you message on this day. Mr. Crawford, thank you, sir.
Love and honor. Special good afternoon to everybody and respect to the organizers of this activity. I just want to quickly say to you, while you stand here, don't forget why Paul Bogle and others did what they did. And they did it to ensure that their children were better than them. That's the ultimate responsibility of every human being. So that's why when they used to sing, "We shall overcome," they never said tomorrow, next week, or next month. They say we shall overcome at a point we cannot even explain someday. And so therefore, what we are experiencing now is better because of what they did then. And we have to ensure that we do the same, that our children are better than what we are experiencing now. Always know yourself, black people, who you are and what it means. You can only inherit genes, you cannot inherit jobs. And if you're going to inherit genes, then know that we are children of the people who are the strongest minds and the strongest body. Anybody who was carried as a slave was physically strong. And anybody who survived slavery was mentally strong. If we inherit anything, we inherit that mind and we inherit that body. So anything that you are going through, you can overcome because you have the genes of the strongest mind and the strongest body. And also biologically, you know that they say opposites attract. So a weak lion is attracted to a strong lioness, and a weak lioness is attracted to a strong lion, naturally. However, during slavery, them used to pair the strong mother with the strong father. So you inherit genes either from the mother or the father. But we have the privilege of having been bred by both parents being strong. So don't give up, don't surrender, and stay committed to making the children better than you. That's the responsibility of all human beings. Respect, and I thank Con Bogle and the Bogle family and the entire St. Thomas for sticking to one reality. We are all heroes. Blessed and love.
Give Mr. Damien Crawford a massive round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
And those of our ancestors, may their soul rest in peace. We give thanks unto the door of good things unto us. The merciful God, the Fatherful Lord and our God and the Savior, Jesus Christ, for he has succored us and covered us, kept us, brought us nigh, received us unto himself, and that take no defense, strengthened us, and brought us unto this hour. Let us therefore pray that the Almighty Lord our God keep us in this holy day and all the days of our life in all peace. Amen.
For the peaceful holy things, we beseech that God may grant us peace through his mercy. For the peaceful holy things, we beseech that God may grant us peace through his mercy. Amen. Hear thy Son, Lord, have mercy upon us.
Let us therefore, we give thanks unto the door of good things unto us, the merciful God. Let us therefore pray him that the Almighty Lord our God keep us in this holy day. Lord God, the Father Almighty, 'tis thou that healest the wounds of our soul and our body and our spirit.
O God of the spirit and of all flesh, has trampled down death, crushed the power of the devil. Grant life to your world. Do you yourself, O Lord, give rest to those who have died in tragic circumstances, those thrown over sea and the Middle Passage voyage, those who died in the field, those who were thrown and sawn asunder, those sick who was not sent to the hospital but sent to the burial ground. Grant rest, O Lord, to those souls. In a place of light, a place of green pastures, a place of repose, where there's no grief, sorrow or mourning. Forgive every sin which they have committed, in word or in deed or in thought. For you are a good God who loves mankind. For there is no one who lives and does not sin. Only you are without sin. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your word is truth. You are the resurrection, the light and the repose of all thy servants. O Christ our God, unto you we ascribe glory, with your beginningless Father and your all holy and good and life-giving Spirit, forever and ever. Amen. Glory to you, O God, our hope. Glory to you. May Christ, our true God, who rose from the dead, has dominion over the living and the dead, as the immortal King, through the intercession of his most pure and holy Mother, the only Virgin Mary. Glorious and all praise to the apostles of our holy God-bearing fathers, of his holy and righteous friend Lazarus, who was 4 days in the tomb, and all of the saints assigned to the dwelling place of the righteous, the soul of all the servants who have passed away, depart among us, grant rest in the bosom of Abraham, and number them with the righteous. And may you also have mercy on us and save us, for his good and merciful God who loves mankind. May your memorial be eternal, our blessed and ever memorable brothers and sisters. Through the supplication of our holy fathers, Lord Jesus Christus, our God, have mercy upon us and save us.
Amen. The evening prayer of the covenant.
The grace of God be with you
and with thy spirit.
Give thanks unto our God.
It is
right, it is just.
O immortal Father, save of our souls. Foundation of wisdom, keep up our hearts. Just grant us light our inward eyes, and prove us with thy knowledge against the darkness of our mind. Thou didst save the first man was given to destruction by the cross of thy only begotten Son. And if we knew him by immortal things, and if it is by the truth of thy commandment, and thou didst make redemption to the death of thy Son, and this search for the last one. For this reason, we thy servants glorify thee, O Lord.
We glorify thee, O Lord. We praise thee, O Lord, with glorious song. Thou whom the Lord's angel is always glorified unceasingly and without rest. And whom the Lord's praise, singing with the praise of glory and thanksgiving. O Lord, thou hast set thy counsel, thy word, thy wisdom, under thy visitation, which was with thee before the world began, without the world being created. That is the Word who was not created, who appeared in the flesh for the salvation of mankind, thy beloved Son, for your justice, hath set us free from the yoke of sin. For this reason, we thy servants praise thee, O Lord. We praise thee, O Lord.
From our hearts we offer to thee thrice our praise, O Lord, give us life. Thou visit the soul of the humble and didst not despise the troubled soul. Thou accept the persecuted and help them. Thou save those in difficulty. Thou thinkest of the hungry and avengest those whom against sin was committed. Thou art the friend of the faithful, speaker to the righteous, dwelling place for the pure. Thou hearest those who call upon thee in righteousness. Protect the widow, savest the orphan. Grant us right leadership to the church and our made a dwelling place of the glorious faith. The counsel of the Spirit, the gift of grace and power. While we praise thee without rest in all our hearts, the kingdom was declared unto us by thee and thy beloved Son, our Lord Jesus, to whom be glory and dominion, both now and ever, and world without end. Amen. The Lord's Prayer, please. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us and rescue us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Holy Virgin Mary, the peace of the angel Gabriel, peace be unto thee. Thou art virgin in spirit as well as in body. O Lord, Mother of perfect God, peace be unto thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Rejoice, O thou that art full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Ask and pray for us unto thy beloved Son, our Lord Jesus Christus. May have mercy upon us and forgive us our sins. Amen. As a son of Stony Gods, where Paul Bogle was born, I must say we have three things we want the government to address. One, Paul Bogle is to become a saint. Why? Paul Bogle didn't have to give his life because he had his own land, he had his own church, he could just sit up easy. But he gave his life for the people. Right? So he should be a saint. And when his statue put up, he should put up as a Baptist deacon with his Bible in one hand and his mustard in the other hand, outstretched. Amen. This is how his statue should be built.
Yes.
And this square, this square should be named Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
When you come in, you don't say we're going to the old courthouse. We said we're going to Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
And everything that is happening, we say Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
We want the relevant authorities to address these things.
Yes. Yes. Give thanks.
So give thanks, my beloved brothers and sisters, for your kind attendance. May God bless you all.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Give the Tawaida Church a big round of applause. Give them a big, massive round of applause.
Blessing, blessing, blessing. When we speak of the Tawaida Church, we speak of Ethiopia, Holy Mount Zion. When we know that Ethiopia has never been conquered, never been subjugated, we know that Ethiopia is the fountainhead of all faculties of thought, including any spiritual, economical revelation. So when we speak of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tawaida, we're not speaking of any other religious groups, any religion from Mystery Babylon. We're not speaking of any other interpretation apart from what came from the black African. So we must understand where Ethiopia is. That is why His Imperial Majesty that Rasta declared to be the Almighty, declare himself to be an Ethiopian Orthodox Tawaida Christian. That is why his name is Haile Selassie, the power of the Holy Trinity. So black people, understand the eight cornerstone that didn't come from no other nation apart from the African consciousness. Amen. And that is what you need to understand. Ethiopia, Upper Kemet, the Upper Nile Valley, the focal peak of the Almighty's kingdom was established here upon earth. And we need to understand and do not get mixed up with religious of Mystery Babylon. Many people keep talking about religion and they do not know what is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a church, a living church. It is not a religion. It is an incarnated reality. And that's what it is. And if black people cannot understand that, my beloved, this occasion is the first time we've got all African united from culture, all the different religion, because why? Every African suffered injustices, atrocities. So for the very first time, Africa is united. So what will we unite the Rasta man? Well, let I give a message from the Church of His Imperial Majesty. Only the faith of the King can unite Rasta, and that without apology. Merciful One, blessings to you all.
Ras Ocean speak. Give him a big round of applause. Paul Bogle, what a great human being. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hear one or two people burning out. I just want to remind you, like the Ross said, we have to be careful of what burn out. Because if you talk about Paul Bogle was a Christian. He may not be this kind of Christian, like this kind of Christian church, but the man of a church. Yes. And he was a Christian. If we talk about His Imperial Majesty, we're talking about a man of a Christian background. If we talk about Marcus Garvey was from the Methodist Church. If we talk about George William Garden was what? Baptist and Methodist.
Good evening, everyone. I extend greetings on behalf of the Center for Reparation Research and our director, Professor
Next, what is your name, son?
Regrettably unable to attend this monumental event.
You know that you tell Ayaka.
Owing to her absence, the onus has now fallen on me to fill her rather large shoes and deliver this message on behalf of the Center. However, before doing so, I ask that we all engage in a moment of silence, 10 seconds or so, for those whose lives were lost unjustly on October 24, 1865. For while we have chosen to celebrate the 24th of October, we cannot overlook its sadness given the murder of our ancestors. We therefore observe a moment of silence as we remember James Williams, John Landron, Dick Hall, John Hall, James Mackenzie, William Winter, Robert Barkley, James Betty, Robert Brown, James Bowie, Stephen Cameron, Williams Chambers, David Douglas, James Gagan, Thomas Holgate, James McLaren, James Morgan, George Thompson, Moses Bogle, and Paul Bogle, murdered on October 24, 1865. Only a fraction of the many lives of our ancestors lost in the Morant Bay War. A moment of silence, please.
Minute of silence. Yes, as I was saying, the light still lasting, you must address that too.
150 years ago, on October 11, 1865, our national hero Paul Bogle, along with others, journeyed from Stony Gut to the Morant Bay courthouse to seek justice. He and others recognized that while they had been emancipated on paper, their reality was not one of true emancipation. They suffered from a lack of land to provide livelihoods, landowners who persecuted them in the court system unjustly, and a biased justice system that only sought to serve the interests of the planter class. For we must remember that in St. Thomas in the East, of the 28 court magistrates, 24 were from the planter class. October 11, 1865 was a response to the oppression faced by our ancestors. Paul Bogle and others recognized that they had been dealt an unfair hand, and as a result, they went to seek justice. Justice that was not served when they had previously sought an audience with Governor R. Justice that was not served when black people were unfairly taxed, brought to court, imprisoned and fined for trespassing. So they went in search of justice. Justice at the courthouse, a symbol of the injustice that they had been faced with over the years. Yet the justice that they sought out was not rewarded to them. Instead, they were murdered. Murdered for rebelling against a system that had been made to oppress them. In pursuing justice, unofficial estimates indicate the loss of at least 2,000 to 4,000 lives, including those alongside Bogle, shot or hanged for the pursuit of their rights owed to them. We are called to remember that 1865 was not a solitary event. The injustice that our forefathers worked so hard to fight against started centuries before in 1494. In 1494, Jamaica was introduced to European colonization, the legacies of which we continue to suffer from. This colonization practically wiped out our indigenous people and led to the subjugation, enslavement, and forceful importation of our African ancestors. Even after being granted emancipation, our ancestors were systematically oppressed. They were made to feel inferior because of the color of their skin, and they were denied rights owed to them. We must never forget that after emancipation, it was not those enslaved whose forced labor had enriched the pockets of our colonizers that received compensation. Rather, it was the enslavers in Jamaica who pocketed £20 million for the loss of their property. Not a penny was given to the formerly enslaved, leaving them disadvantaged, without lands or money, and they're being systematically persecuted. Bogle and his army recognized this injustice and sought to fight against it. We as Jamaicans are indebted to them for their fight. For while they did not receive justice then, their fight catapulted the freedoms that we enjoy today. Yet, while we are thankful for their fight, we must remember that even today, the justice that Paul Bogle and others fought for has not been rewarded. 154 years later, we continue to feel the brutal force of enslavement and colonialism. Even today, we continue to witness the legacies of enslavement and colonialism. In fact, as we stand here now and overlook the Morant Bay port, which is in close proximity, we're reminded of the enslavement of our ancestors and the transatlantic trade in enslaved Africans. For it was there in 1790 that 113 enslaved Africans arrived, unwillingly, aboard the slaver Kitty. After centuries of enslaving our African ancestors, forcefully transporting them to Jamaica, murdering them, physically, emotionally, and mentally abusing them. All for the goal of enrichment. We have never received a cent for the flagrant abuse of human rights. The legacies of this are blatantly clear in our society today. We as a nation are impoverished and alarmingly vulnerable to natural disasters exacerbated by climate change. We suffer from widespread illiteracy. Approximately 70% of blacks in British colonies were functionally illiterate by the time of their independence in the 1960s. And we are plagued by a public health crisis, evidenced by the Caribbean having the highest incidence of the chronic diseases, hypertension and type 2 diabetes, caused by dietary habits introduced to our ancestors because of enslavement.
But still a winner is here to perform on the Commemoration Day, October 24th, 2019, for the Right Honorable Paul Bogle and the over 500 million Africans who died as a result of slavery. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help Big Stone welcome Aya Carr!
St. Thomas, you have to big up the Paul Bogle Foundation. Big up your smite. Constantine Bogle, big up yourself. President and founder. Well, I mean, Aya Carr represents from a parish. Which part of there? Paul Bogle Square, down. Selector. Drop down there for me now. Celebrate the criminal warrior from GP to Port Maria, not to mention Guncourt and Remand Center. Tambling farmer fi first offender. It easy fi reach Motard Philadelphia. Can we have to pass through soldier ward and not to mention the big wire fence barrier. Can jailhouse no nice my friend. You must live in the street and get Jailhouse no nice, my friend. If you know man champion life, really, my run be a safe. Enough time me sit down in a jail and a fret. When sentence I run me, I wonder who next. Me check all me 200 pounds, so them wait tell me I get wet. Like me da bun a cigarette. So tell me now how the prisoner them feel. When hungry about and the realm them a squeal. You hear me? And that me gonna come out, you know. Gonna come out to represent Paul Bogle. All of the hero them. So here you go on. Trap me trap. Selector. Drop I conquered hero fight. Tell me with him. Fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and a God. Hero them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. To this a sweet, sweet Jamaica land. I don't know how this is hero come from. Tell me with him, I gotta find it. Hold up, kick it off back. I can't come for represent. Yes, this is your conquered. Come for represent. Give me Jamaican hero there. Santana! We will fight very hard, them of the fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we hard. We will them fight very hard, them of the fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we hard. Oh, it's a sweet, sweet Jamaica land, and that's what this is where come from. Not to mention it, we win one, but it's more like when I come from. You want to know about and walk up just for one line and start to boo-boo cause center master to be land. Alright, so far to go from fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. God, them fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Listen now. Equal rights all of we have it. Who said that no man was have it? I wish one never beg for pardon. You see one chance with them God. God, you see me feel it from me heart. To me think about you when they bring some sharp. Punish to me, they leave me until she see them and they give me no post I want. So them fight very hard. They must be fighting the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can't enter we are. Take them off them. Roll up! I tell him I say the time I come and some represent St. Thomas and the whole Paul Bogle Foundation, Constantine Bogle big up himself. Kick it back again and turn it to a place and thanks my general. Yes! We saw your conquered. Come to represent to make Jamaican hear them. We will fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. We will them fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. Oh, it's a sweet, sweet Jamaica land. That's what this is hero come from. Not to mention it, we will win one. That's it more than when they come from. The one who about and who will close. For one line and start to move as center master to be balance. Alright, that's what I will come from them. Fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Before see them fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Boy, equal rights all of we fear it. Who said that no man was Yavi? I wish one never beg no pardon. This year one charge we have God. God, we are seeing the feeling from the heart. Remember about the when they make some sharp. Punish from me, go leave me until she see the matter me, she go about the monkey. But them fight very hard, them have to fight very hard and the God. We will them fight very hard, so we can't enter we are. Say come up them fight very hard, them have to fight very hard and the God. We will them fight very hard, so we can't enter we are. Pastor Scarcely,
I'm on Marley, John and Washington, Barbados. Oh God, fight very hard, them will be fighting the hard and the bad. Hero will fight very hard, so we can fight very hard, them will be fighting the hard and the bad. Hero them fight very hard, so we can that you know I'm found. Tell us that the general well pronounced now. I'm a man because of yo car. Hot stuff, up on yo, Celestial, Rastafari. Yeah, don't know. So the mayor next, you know.
Yeah, give me.
Well done, Mr. Bogle.
On behalf of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, it is my duty to welcome you to the reenactment on the life of Paul Bogle, who died 154 years ago. But what does it take to be a hero? It means stepping across the line and be prepared to make a sacrifice. It means taking selfless risks. Heroes are the ones who find the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Our national hero Paul Bogle was a man ahead of his time. He was a visionary. Little did he know, and the people around him know, that what he would have done in 1865 would to this day be used as a template for justice. Paul Bogle stands for justice, freedom, equality. That is the life and work of our hero, Paul Bogle. But Paul Bogle could have taken a different path. He was a small farmer, he was a deacon. In those days, in the entire parish, he had about 104 people who could vote. And Paul Bogle was one of those gentlemen. But Paul Bogle saw it differently. And Paul Bogle would not join the Bakamasa. Paul Bogle stand for the small man, because Paul Bogle saw the injustice that was meted out to the people of this parish and the entire Jamaica. So Paul Bogle, because of Paul Bogle, we are free to be standing here tonight. We are free for the betterment of our nation. And when he was arrested and later on, many of his followers and affiliates were executed. But as we stand here today, we cannot but agree that Paul Bogle's efforts have contributed immensely to the development and recognition of this parish. Because of Bogle, many of us can own land now, can own a house. Yes, because of Bogle, we are freer today and have much better opportunities in life. The Mark Day Rebellion resulted in many reforms which made life better for the oppressed black majority in St. Thomas and indeed Jamaica as a whole. Bogle's life teaches us that it's important to care about each other and treat each other with respect. We may not have the ability to pay the ultimate sacrifice as he did with his life, but out of sacrifice comes good. It is important for older folks like myself and the elders and priests among us that it is our duty to impart that knowledge to the younger generation, the school kids, that within all of us, we have a level of heroism amongst us, within us. And when we have choices to make, and we choose to do what is right, that is called a sacrifice. And no other man can claim that right other than Mr. Paul Bogle himself. And as I said before, I must pay my respect to his great-great-great-great-grandson, Constantine Bogle, for the struggle that he has endured to reach this far. He's a man on a mission, and I wish him well. And on behalf of the people and the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, he has my wholehearted support. So I want to thank you. I can feel the spirit of Paul Bogle in here. And I want to say to you, St. Thomas is Paul Bogle place. Thank you.
St. Thomas, it is very important that I acknowledge the support that I get from the mayor, Mr. Michael Yo, to ensure that this event take place. Not just Mr. Yo, but I want to send my thanks to the entire parish council. Mr. Yo, thank you very much, Your Worship, for the support that you give to us to make sure that this event take place. And give my thanks to the CEO and to the people in general and the parish council. Thank you once again, Mr. Yo.
Maruka says we should not just talk about the 10th of October when we have the candlelight vision. We should not just talk about the 11th of October, but we need fundraising events right throughout the year so we can offer, the Paul Bogle Foundation can offer their support to some of the farmers and some of the people that badly need the help of Paul Bogle. So Paul Bogle fought 154 years ago. We are going to continue. As Luther Maruka said, we must continue the struggle of such a great man. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have some more entertainment, prophecy, right from out of St. Thomas. As a matter of fact, I've been doing this for many years, since 2012. This brother has never performed on the stage at IMC before. So it is an honor for me to welcome him home to his parish, international recorded superstar, Prophecy!
Holy Manuel Selassie, yeah, I'm doing Paul Bogle people, my people. Don't Selassie, I squeeze the tip I go and sing for the people them first, cause I saw you go and keep them, you know, in the musical mind. Revolutionary style, Paul Bogle style, big up the mayor, all protocol observe my brothers, Rastafari, give thanks. Let's try your life among men, can you understand? Paul Bogle, try your life among men. I said take it some and they have already killed somewhere and glad to see. Oh yes, Paul Bogle prophets on the church and stay to rise the banner of peace well. To all the leaders of the world to exercise justice, yes. Cause I don't wanna see my innocent people get caught in the street. I still run by honor, they'll find a way. To unite my people so they can make it through the day. I swear on thy honor, they'll find a way. To unite my people so they can make it through the day. Cause I don't wanna see nobody back, nobody back, nobody back. Nobody ever come and get my select. How are you doing, St. Thomas? How are you? Some nice, you know, we have good people shouting jubilance, man. I don't know. 3,000 again, come on and hear it. Don't play again. Press the back, sit us. Let's try it like a man. Can you understand? Let's try it like a man. I said there's kicks so that we have already killed somewhere with crime disease. Oh yes. St. Thomas focus on the church and stay to us and banner of peace well. While the leaders of the world exercise justice, yes. Yes, I don't wanna see my innocent people get caught in the street. I swear one night on, that I'll find a way to unite my people so they can make it through the day. I swear one night on, that I'll find a way to unite my people so they can make it through the day. I don't want to see nobody dance, nobody but yeah. No image acting white cheat with the total. Yes, I don't want to see nobody dance, nobody but yeah. No image acting white cheat with the total. Oftentimes I'm on confidence for night, and then I feel the youth them care. And do this system plan them out oftentimes, let them pull out the far out of me. Just imagine shot a cap and do my jump around the back. And those man sign from things. Makes it even hard for I myself to make a decision. See, I don't want to see nobody. Nobody but yes. Hey, Miss Martin, why she be the total? Yes, I don't want to see nobody but nobody but yes. No, Miss Martin, why she be the. I said I must watch this. When as the sun down, the beacons come to town. Oh God, shadows and footballs can be seen moving all around. Oh yes, they take it like that they have not created. I know this could never be the way. The land the root was prophecy said to lock their big hands away. I swear one night on, they will find a way. I put up select and all I'm going to ask the people. Well, I must say give thanks and praise again. Good night, people. Rastafari. I want to give thanks to Paul Bogle because you see this unjustified revolution that they think was unjustified done. It is now justified that today we can be here in a greater mass supporting the one cause. If it's really real, let me sit down and hear about that. It's real. See? Now, apart from that, there's a lot of things we can do from what Paul Vogels left off. And one of the things is revolutionary of the mind. We can revolutionize the mind. See? We can be a more cohesive people, a more disciplined set of people because the unfight they done gone, you know. The legislative fight is here. The spiritual fight still continues. See? Big up chips in the crowd. See? Big up yourself. Now, you don't know so with the kind of spirit I myself has taken the roles of responsibility in putting together something for St. Thomas through the vibration of Paul Bogle because Paul Bogle himself would want to say a social upliftment for St. Thomas. I'm more pushing forward for our culture and our heritage scene just like what the mayor said just now. So we have created something called Regular Jamaica Music Festival. December 26th at the Goodyear Oval with the aim in view to help our own parish, which is the culture, the heritage, the hospital, and gaining what we need to gain as in machinery to really better set our foundation as in health and what we need, the fundamental base to go forward. See? So right now we don't have more time for wasting now. We can't keep still because December 26th around the corner and we have holy thing. You will squeeze off because of certain things here. That one of them can't keep still people. We have to get assertive. See? Here we got to talk, but when you better learn. As I get my people concerned, it's rough for all that. From up to the team, got to find a solution. Don't keep still. Now the company says that don't keep the deal. No, keep still. Because I'm broken from Babylon and no way. Check out the yard, there is no smile up and no face. I take a look on the poor and afflicted, no food, no in a best place. Johnny the youth, say me young and talented, a business, them a penetrate. And to the pressure we have feelings that blew up we go. So we not keep still, no. We not even got that to fit the business. No, can't keep still. Serious stop Babylon until. No, that's fire of a word. Tables got to turn, Babylon you better learn. As I know my people concerned, things will go out the street. Gangsta arm up to the street. God, I hear it, go that I'm going to next track. That's the last CI. Yeah man, when I say the people them feel nice. But I continue to greet you all in the name of you with all things possible without mountains and passes. And he was creating mankind in his own image and likeness to have them in the wild things my people. He when he was alive for life is there. And he was the power of the people and rise to be what the breaking of the man and the setting of the sun, man. Most high! Yeah! Well, I have seen what Jah has done for man. Yes, and in return, look what man has done to creation. Well, I said if Jah was just like man, yes, man. Then don't ask and what was your own calculation. And I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many why will only complicate the time. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many why will only segregate mankind. Don't complain like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't complain like that you sorry when you fail mankind. And don't complain like that you try, and I cry when you lie. Nobody tell like that you sorry. And we can't sing Santa Claus. When I see signs of the time is upon man, the prophecy is gonna fulfill on you. And I see some people as the devils and forget, oh thinking them reach but them not get there yet. Saint Thomas has said too little love. And I said too many why will only complicate the mind. Yes, I said too little love. And I said too many why will only segregate time. And don't compare like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't compare like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Nobody tell us that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't compare like that you sorry when you fail. I want to know that you were take it low, take it very low. You don't know it's all about education and entertainment, see? Take it low, Louis. Just bounce it low. Now I said in a world where 1% of the world's population earn 40% of the planet's wealth, something is wrong, St. Thomas. And I said in a world where more than 34,000 kids die every single day because of poverty and preventable disease, something is wrong. And I said in a world where more than 50% of the world's population live on less than $2 per day, something is wrong. Now clearly if we are a part of the problem, we need to be a part of the solution. As you and I are the carriers and donors of our own self-destruction, still we're the conquerors. So may the Most High John, this is the last year, Paul Bogan and all those forerunners. Blessed love and press. Rastafari.
More strength to each and every one. You know, when I heard about this event tonight, I was thinking of my ancestors. And I'm also thinking how powerful it was in that time. If you really sit down and you do all the calculations, you will see that everything was planned to a T. For them to die on that day, to a T. Everything was planned. Now we are all here together, gathered in one harmony, one love, and all that love, we need to vibrate it towards each and every ancestors, each and every one that has died in your family due to the fact that we have all come through slavery. And because you are here now, reaping the benefits all those great benefits, eating and drinking at free will until we get big and fat. Yes, to that point, I would love for you to know that back then, we had to eat the scrap off a master bacterial. So guess what? Tonight, I want you to hold your candle. Get your candle. 15 minutes. I want us to all come together, one accord, light our candles in 15 minutes from now. So get your candle together, because in that meditation, I want you to call all your ancestors. Tell them thank you for all that you have done for us and continue to do.
Rastafari. I give a round of applause to this lovely lady. Well said, well said. Come and go about that song again, you know, because trust me, we need this universal oneness, see? So you hear me from the top again, the man and request the last year. Tell me thing. Kick it off the Euro for me, please. See him, sir? Yeah, man, we give thanks to the moment, and we say regular Jamaica Music Festival, December 26th again. Tell a friend to tell a friend, it's a word of God's people, and these are the kind of platform we have to use. We have to get together in a more cohesive way in a St. Thomas. We have to stop backbite, and we have to know that petty prejudice and them things have to put aside. Once you see the need to do something for nation building, we have to get involved. So all councillors, all mayors, all MPs, all the common man, make a note right now. Regular Jamaica Music Festival is where we lead December 26th. We are now continue to greet you all in the name of you, made all things possible, and without him all things are impossible. And he was creating mankind in his own image and likeness, God dominion over all things, my people. He who knows life, for life is here. And he was a part of the people that rise to be with the breaking of the morning and the setting of the sun, man. Most High, Rastafari. Well, I have seen what God's done for man. Yes, and in return, look what man has done to creation. But I said it was just like man, yes man. They don't understand what's just your own calculation. St. Thomas has said too little love in this world. And I said too many war will only complicate the time. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many war will only separate mankind. And don't come tell like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come tell like that you sorry when you fail mankind. And don't come tell like that you try, and I cry when you lie. Don't bother tell like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Yes, I see signs of the time is up on man. Hey, Paul Google is gonna fulfill on you. And I see some people as the devils are broken, both thinking them rich, but them not get there yet. St. Thomas has said too little love in this world, mankind. And I say too many war will only complicate the mind. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I say too many war will only separate mankind. And don't come tell like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come tell like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Nobody tell us that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come tell like that you sorry when you fail man. Hey, bounce me low again, Yuri. Bounce me low, Yuri. Now I again said in a world where 34,000 kids die every single day because of poverty and preventable disease, something's wrong. And in a world where 1% of the world's population earn 40% of the planet's wealth, something is wrong. And in a world where more than 50% of the entire globe population live on less than $2 per day. Now clearly again, if we're all a part of the problem, we need to be a part of the solution. As you and I know that we're the carriers and donors of our own self-destruction and still we're the conquerors. So may the Most High Jah Selassie, Marcus Garvey, Paul Bogan, and all those ancestors. Protect and guide our land to the nation again. Clap yourself, people, to drive in here. Clap yourself. That nation, clap yourself. Be proud of yourself. Rastafari.
Prophecy Isaac! Row and Brown, aka Prophecy Isaac. Give him a big St. Thomas round of applause! Ladies and gentlemen, today we must understand why Sam Sharp says I'd rather die and yet the gallows than give my life to slavery. Without further ado, 21 years ago, a young man by the name of Constantine David Bogle had a vision that came to him in a dream to unite the African race, to make sure that each and every one of us, because reggae music tries to do it and it's not doing it. Rastafari tried to do it but didn't
not doing it.
A lot of people tried to do it
and it's not doing it.
Constantine Bogle for 21 long years, for 1999.
He's doing it.
It's doing it.
Yeah.
Before we bring on the giant, a man that calls himself Baba Tunde. Bless the stage. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Sacred planet. Rastafari, 11 gates of Zion, more than all, dwellings of Jacob, glorious things I have spoken of the old city of Ethiopia. And I'll make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I, behold, Philistine Tyre.
With Ethiopia.
With Ethiopia, the Honorable Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Azira.
Last year.
And of Zion it shall be said, this and that one was born in the highest shall establish her.
Singers.
Rastafari shall continue writing up the people, singers and players of instruments shall be there.
All I springs.
Little black boys and girls, black women, all I springs are
indeed.
Alright. So, we have to talk some things here now. I could do the thing the right and the proper way. Tafari Baba Tunde is our name. And you're looking at the original. Surely there was a time where a fire forward named Winston Witter. I borrowed the name. He had certain popularity to it. Give thanks, we don't sue him. We're not there to talk about it tonight. We're there on a mission. If you feel offended, just look within and don't get the hatred attached to what we're going to say. We're going to burn some fire and we're going to burn some fire hard. We know that anytime there's a gathering, we realize that the males them were forward. It's just one bag of smoking. Watch out now, black males, listen keenly. There's no nutritional value in smoking, whether it is ganja or blind garret. So let me tell you something now. 150 odd years ago, certain things go on by this honorable virgin named Paul Bogle. So that you and I can stand here now with some semblance of freedom or freeness. And we're not going to make them work to go in vain. We're there so from 13 past 3. Yeah? But we still give thanks that we could have hold up and deliver a little message. And since we're there from so long, we're not going to talk in a long time. So just listen again. Round this up. Over this up. And right here, so around this up. How we come is a candlelight event and most signing on a candle. So watch you now. We are giving them a second. To start like the candle them now. This don't make no sense if we don't have a candle.
Dash out all we have.
Yeah, mama, light up the candle right there, so. Yeah, see there? And that's what we are talking about. I saw it work. Round here, so one to candle. We can't come to an event for our ancestors and we hear say it's a candle light. And we show up without candle.
We need to see
candle. And some guy asks, where candle then? Candle sell a shop, you buy it.
Because it's a worthy cause, no? We don't turn up to the event and go and like say we expect the organizer to go provide candle. Burn that! So watch you now. Males. Who know first? Listen keenly. But they have on locks or you have on none. We in our time here now where we see this honorable brethren make certain sacrifice. Baba Bogo did very wealthy. Plenty riches. But him never selfish with it. So watch you now. Him look around and see same people them not alright. Listen up. Round here so me I talk to Unato. Black woman, silence. And listen up.
Fire baptism.
Yeah, man.
God, Professor was speaking.
Yeah. Dr. McCullough.
Representing Commoner, Rat out said we want fire, we must have fire. Paul Bogle said we want fire, we must have fire. Constantine Bogle, president and founder of the Paul Bogle Foundation, has done it again. This is 21 years of fire. Patrick Commoner, fire baptism 2019 has been what it wanted to be, has been what it has supposed to be, and it has what it will be. Rastafari. We big up and honor the Paul Bogle Foundation for putting on a tremendous gathering that not just see the people of St. Thomas, has not just seen the people of St. Thomas, but has seen the people of the world in Kumasi. As we speak in Kumasi, we are fire. As we speak in South Africa, we are fire. We are the Rue Ali Shakamuka Menelik, the president of the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, is here. He will speak directly after Dr. Clinton attends. Eru is my gender. Eru has taught me well for the last 20 years. My teacher made sure that his students. Eru, I love you so much, man. Eru, I thank you very much for giving me the knowledge so that my wife and my children, my wife and my kids can know that I did not desert them. I came here to work. I came here to serve the people of St. Thomas because you, all of you, have relatives who died. Have relatives who died. All right. Hey, Commemoration. Commemoration. 2019, the Paul Bogle Foundation has done it. All right? Pretty well, we're going to close off. Patrick, we're going to close off right now. And I have 2 more speakers coming on stage. Patrick, you're bigger than life. Angela, together, lads. Check your bump. Yeah. We're going to close out this segment now. Close it up! Now, we thank the Common Drummers for coming out tonight to pay their respect to the great Paul Bogle, to honor. We want to big up Willette Mariam. Willette Mariam, big up yourself anywhere you are. You left all the way from Trelawney and you came to St. Thomas and you pay your respect to the great, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a message from Professor Clinton Atten. Clinton Atten, we're ready for you, sir. St. Thomas, I love you so much. I love you from the core of my heart. And when we come out here with you, we come to serve the General, the Field Marshal General, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Mr. Bogle, I love you. Wherever you are, I know they hung you today. I know they took your life today. But we here are the cubs of Paul Bogle. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, help big soon welcome Dr. Clinton Atten.
Greetings.
No.
Talk about a few words about current day in 1865. I hear you. I hear you.
Yes.
154 years ago today. 154 years ago today. Paul Bogle was executed in the square. In fact, over 400 people were killed in this square during that period. But on the day of the 24th of October, Paul Bogle was executed. In fact, they had a gallows there. In fact, there's a drawing with a gallows done that time of 11 people on it. On the rails of the courthouse, they hung a number of persons. And in fact, there are 3 mass graves. One is behind the courthouse, and I suspect there are 2 behind the courthouse, and 1 is out there. 3 mass graves. Also on that day was Paul Bogle's older brother, Moses Bogle. Also hanged on that day was James McLaren. James McLaren was born after slavery. He was 23 years old. And James McLaren was Paul Bogle's secretary. James McLaren was one of the leaders of the Morant Bay Uprising. Also hung on that day was a man by the name of William Bowie. William Bowie was a very popular man and a captain. In fact, he was second only to Paul Bogle. He was second in the leadership of the Bogle movement. 154 years ago. But there are some lessons that we need to learn. And we're going to learn all of them tonight. In the first place, the Morant Bay Uprising took place 27 years after slavery was abolished. Slavery lasted in Jamaica for 329 years. 329 years, slavery lasted in Jamaica. 329 years of people forced to work without pay. Forced to work without the ability to pass on to their children and their children's children the fruit of their labor. And when slavery was abolished, it didn't mean that the slave-holding class was abolished. They actually were paid for what they call the loss of their stock. Not the people who suffered for 329 years. It was the slaveholders who were paid, who were compensated for the loss of ownership of Africans. And therefore, for the 329 years in which poverty was imposed on black people in Jamaica and in the rest of the English Caribbean, 329 years of poverty. And so it was not surprising, therefore, that part of the politics of Bogle and the people after 1860, leading up to 1865, because 1865, the uprising took 27 years after emancipation. They were paid nothing. And therefore, they were just let go. You are now free. Leave our estate. You are free. But guess what? With nothing. Nothing. And therefore, the people felt that freedom was nothing without ownership of the land. They felt freedom was nothing if the people did not have the wherewithal to make their own living. And therefore, what happened is that the colonial ruling classes, the slave-owning classes, did everything to prevent African people in Jamaica from owning the means of production. And therefore, one of the slogans of the Paul Bogle movement was liberty. That liberty is not possible, is not feasible, is not valuable if the people who were held in enslavement did not have the means of producing the fruits to feed their children and their children's children. They also felt that if they did not have their own house, they are not free. So freedom was associated with the ability to make their own living. Freedom was associated with them being able to turn their own keys. But freedom was also impossible, they argued, if the people were bound down by mental enslavement. So those were three important notions of freedom. One, to be free from the belief in the slave system and the superiority of white people. Two, ownership of home. And three, ownership of the means of making your own living. In 1971, the Wailers did a song written by Bob Marley. And part of the song says, every time I hear the crack of the whip, my blood runs cold. I remember on the slave ship how they brutalized our very soul. Today they say we are free, only to be chained to poverty. Guess what? James McLaren, that 23-year-old leader of the Morant Bay Uprising, made a speech in September 1865 saying the same thing. That slavery made black people poor. When slavery ended, they got nothing. And therefore, they are still in enslavement. Today in Jamaica, most people of African descent are not owners in the economy. What do you own in the economy? Most people of African descent own little in the economy. You're a worker in it, even if you're a manager in it, but you do not own it. And therefore, from the beginning of slavery, for persons to be enslaved, they have to be removed from the ownership of anything. And people own them. And therefore, one of the lessons to learn of today is that the politics of today need to place African people in the ownership of the economy.
That's why
they can't be locked out of the ownership of the economy.
The voting keep them away from
right? That is a lesson we need to learn. That's a lesson we need to learn.
Right.
The other lesson we need to learn is in relation to solidarity, right, and to coming together.
Right.
500 Maroons helped the British to crush the movement. It was a Maroon who took in Moses Bogle. It was a Maroon who took in Paul Bogle. And before that, it was a Maroon, same set of Maroon who captured Sam Sharp in 1832. Right? Maroons are African people. But guess what? In the suppression of Paul Bogle and his people, there were many black soldiers of the 1st West India Regiment. And I'm going to read you what the white leader of that group who ordered black soldiers of the 1st West Indian Regiment all over St. Thomas. One time Manchester was a part of St. Thomas, you know. And much of Portland today was a part of St. Thomas in those days. And this man who commanded many black soldiers from 1875, they developed the 1st West India Regiment from 1875. Not from 1775, not 1875, from 1775, 100 years before Morant Day. They have these soldiers train them, and after 1865, the white officer, the commanding officer of that West India Regiment, wrote a book about the history of the 1st West India Regiment. And in part of the book, he wrote about the Morant Bay Uprising because they played a key role in suppressing the people after that. And this is what he wrote about the black soldiers, and I want you to take note of it. This is what he wrote. The fidelity of the black soldiers, loyalty, right? Another word for fidelity. The fidelity of the black soldiers of the 1st West India Regiment could hardly have been put to a more critical test. That is to kill their own. Right? This is what the white commanding officer is saying. He continued, 9/10, that is every 9 out of 10, 9/10 of these men were Jamaicans, born and bred, and in the work of suppressing the rebellion, they were required to hang, capture, and destroy the inhabitants of not only their countrymen, but friends in many instances. Or their relatives. Yet, in no single case did any man hesitate to obey orders. Nor was their loyalty, was the loyalty of any one soldier ever matter for doubt. They never doubted them. They were able to order black soldiers, not white soldiers, black soldiers to kill their relatives, their families, and their friends. And what this commanding officer, Major Alfred Ellis, what he said is that these people carry out the orders without complaint. What this is telling us, that lesson. So we have the lesson from the Maroons, and we have a lesson from other black soldiers who were not Maroons. Because they gave the Maroons 500 rifles. The governor here distributed 500 rifles to the Maroons in 1865. And they had a feast at Up Park Camp after the war. They had a feast at Up Park Camp, and they killed a cow and feasted the Maroons. But that is one side of the thing. For a job well done. The other side of it is that they have many black soldiers that they trained from 100 years before. Generation after generation. The purpose of those black soldiers was to keep black people in enslavement. It's a lesson we need to learn. That's a lesson we need to learn. We can't just go away and just boy the Maroons them screw you up. Because fellow black soldiers were doing it. But what is the lesson? They felt, some of them, not all, they felt good and important to do this type of dirty work because they're associated with white power. The association with power can make people do anything. And we see it happen after independence. When houses were built and only one set of people get the houses. And then we have a thing we call garrison, in which in 1980 over 1,000 people were killed. And the lesson, these lessons we need to learn. If we don't learn these lessons, we are going to continue to kill off each other. And therefore, remain in the state of underdogs that we were placed by the British. There's a place in Kingston called Bedford Street. William Bedford owned a lot of properties and enslaved Africans in this parish, in Westmoreland, in Hanover, in Kingston. We have a place there called Bedford Street today. William Bedford was given thousands of acres of land, free, and he purchased 4,000 Africans, bought them. Bedford, in the 1660s, when he came to Jamaica to help took away Jamaica from the Spanish, got thousands of acres of land. And he purchased 4,000 Africans. This man was a poor ass in England, the richest, until one of his children married into royalty. The same royalty that is in Britain now. William Bedford became a member, became the mayor of London. And his son took over after he died. He inherited the land, the businesses, the wealth, and the Africans. And then he worked, and he died. And then the other son, when slavery was abolished, the other son, who have never been to Jamaica, inherited the payment that Britain paid out. 20 million pounds the British pay out to the slave owners. Not 1 cent to the enslaved people. The British Parliament assessed that it will take 47 million pounds to pay off the slave owners. They borrowed 20 million pounds and distribute according to how much each person owned. And the other 27 million pounds. There's a period in Jamaica, if you go to school, or if you don't go, there's a period they call apprenticeship. That period of apprenticeship was for the black people to work without pay from 1834 to 1838. It was supposed to go to 1840 to pay off that $27 million by the freedom. And the 20 million pounds that the British government borrowed to pay off the slave owners. Guess what happened? It is only in 2015, the 100th anniversary of the Morant Bay suppression. It's only in 2015 that the British finished paid off that loan to the bank that they borrowed from 1834. Very true. 2015. It means that Jamaicans who go to Britain to work after World War II, the taxes that them take from them help pay off from a thing from 1834. We need to understand these things. We need to understand these things. So we have a Bedford Street in Kingston. But we don't have a McLaren Street in Morant Bay. The 23-year-old youth, McLaren, leader, knew this place. He went to school here in Morant Bay. He did not believe that the people should buy any land. He believed that the black people should get the land free because they worked for it, and it's for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with a revolutionary soldier, a man that believes in Taki should be a national hero, a man that has walked all over Jamaica. Even today, he has walked on his way here to the Paul Bogle Commemoration. We have my friend for many years, Black X. His name is Mr. Robinson. But guess what? To the world, for what he has achieved in walking, he's Black X. Black X, give a thanks. Why did you walk here today?
I just from
walk today
to come on this celebration, and it has been time to turn up. And with them call upon fire. It's the purification of our life as African people in this island here. Where we wasn't given no compensation. No, it grieves my heart. This is what is taking place. Happy. Last sugar estate in this island is Paris. And that is the Duck Field Sugar Estate Plantation, where it is now being tropical. No present system. It is our people working at the land. Even during the war, the better in this parish. That estate never stopped work.
Officially, formally.
It is producing the best beer in the eastern part of the island today.
To show solidarity with the
and it looks very bad to know that The peace that is working towards land from after
And we have to commend them. Black X has been doing this tirelessly. He has walked across Jamaica because he believes that Taki should be our national hero, just like everybody else. Taki. But why Taki? Why do you say Taki for national hero?
Let us look at this.
Yes,
I'm trying. This part of the island,
Jamaica
is known for three geographical locations of Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. Represented by our three godfathers at the same Bible, Jesus above, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And we pay great respect to that.
This is the land of Jacob on the eastern side. We are in the compensation that you, the black people, have worked these properties.
And as a
now you are only getting what we don't not compensation.
That was done in
the all these children that have become beneficiaries of this property from 1962.
We can understand. We weren't at that mindset at the time. No problem. We are at that mindset. And I reiterate what Black X is saying. Taki for national hero. Not Bob Marley, not Beanie Man, not all those, but Taki for national hero. I thank you. I love you, my brother. Keep doing the work to show them that work without faith means nothing. Work with action means everything.
Now we're coming from Waterhouse, Channel 2.
Long time that. Long live the spirit and the memory of Taki.
The president of the UNIA, Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, my friend Eru I Shakamusa Menelek.
Give thanks and praises. African family, how are you feeling? Rastafari, blessed love. Well, one of the main things we have to understand is that we are one people, we are family. And the system has worked out to divide us in all different kind of categories. And their religion, Christianity, they have so much different denominations. They have divided us. They have divided us educationally. Uptown, downtown, round town people. We have to understand unity is strength. The Honorable Marcus Garvey had a motto for the UNIA. And it goes like this: one God, one aim, one destiny. Very simple but very effective. It reminds you that you are one nation of people. One of the wickedest things that they use to divide us today, may I take religion out of the way, politics. Politics is one of the poisons that they have used to create two tribes in Jamaica that you cannot come together in your own political interest. We have to look at the situation, you know, because sometimes you say you're born in this house and your mother and father was PNP, so you have to be PNP. Or your mother and father was JLP and you have to be JLP. Nothing goes so. Just when you go home tonight, think about it and look at the reigning of these two parties from 1944 to now. The quality of life that you are living, the quality of life that you are living is caused by these two. Because they are the principles that make the policy statements and make the laws that govern you in the way you are governed. One of the things where my brethren just talk about, you know, land. In 1927, Marcus Garvey had to say, right down in a crossroad at a political meeting, oh, one white man owned 50,000 acre land, and 50,000 black man not own the land. Can't write. One man owned 50,000 acre land, and 50,000 black people own no land. 1927, but we could come forward to know how much of us are landowners, how much of us are landholders. Well, let me give you some statistics. Jamaica have 753 squatter settlements, and this is government information from the Ministry of Housing. 753 squatter settlements. And out of that, we have 1.8 million homeless people who are squat. 1.8. Jamaica have 2.8 million, I could round it off and say 3 million. If 1.8 out of that is squatters, you ever say no, well, everybody else all right? No! If you're paying rent, you're a squatter, same way, you know. If you are paying rent, you're a squatter. Because guess what? The landlord can give you notice anytime and say, listen, I want my place. It happened to the manager for Jamaica West Indies team. It happened to him. Live at Avondale, uptown, and feel good. And the owner for the house come and say, listen, I'll give you 1 month and I want the place. And in 1 month him never move. And him get the notice. And the man just go down to the court and get a court order. And the court bailiff just go up there and take him out of the house and put him on the sidewalk. That was the first him realized that boy him is a homeless man. Well, the rent statistics tell you say 400,000 Jamaican pay rent. So add the 400,000 on the 1.8. You get 2.2 million squatters in a Jamaica. How much left? So I could look on the 3 million and see how much left. I love how the man fast on the mathematics. Because we must do good in school. Make sure we make the youth them go to school. Because that have a free way up. Education is a key. Now when you look at the one that will leave now, you know, them there is the intergenerational families where it own land from long time. That figure will leave now. None of we know it. You have a man to go be in trace field heritage from 1834. Him own 50,000 acre land. You have another family around in St. Catherine, 40,000 acre land. And right around you find it is these people who inherit land intergenerationally from the days of enslavement. Wake up, my brother and my sister, wake up. Can't make the politics fool with no more. I represent the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, the first political party that was founded in Jamaica, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. And we have to rise up, because all the promises that you have been getting by these politicians, none of it manifest. And when I say about promise, a promise is a comfort to a fool. So Marcus Garvey says self-reliance. So we are going to do the self-reliance. We're glad to let them free up the weed now, because you know the weed is mega bucks. We have to understand that we can't make them know how to grow it. Enough of them get license already, but them don't know how to grow the weed. So them will come to I and I to show them how to grow it. You understand? So this is where we say, family. We have to lift up our family now. Because the time has come when black people must take them rightful place. Jamaica have 99% black people, you know. 99%. So the little 1% was shared up between the Indian and the Chinese and the white and the rest of them. Them control 99% of the wealth of the country. And that 1%, you know. And then the 99% of black people will control 1%. You understand? So I have a round half now, you know. But I will remind you, say, unity is strength. Remember your brother. Paul Bogle say what? Skin for skin, color for color. One God, one aim, one destiny. Aye.
Eru Aishaka Musa Menele. Give him a big round of applause. We also have here Dr. Michael Barnett. Dr. Barnett, you cannot come all the way to St. Thomas without gracing the stage, sir. A professor of the University of the West Indies, Dr. Michael Barnett. Dr. Barnett. All right. Yes, Blackstone. Greetings, everybody, and we give thanks for this celebration, well, I should say celebration, commemoration of the Stone. You know, one of our heroes, as my colleague, Professor Clinton Hutton said, 154 years ago, our hero, Paul Bogle, sadly, was hanged. But he died nobly because he was fighting for his fellow black people. He was fighting for African people. And for that we can be proud, and we must continue to fight to emancipate ourselves, because the truth is we are not yet free. We may be, them say we're physically free, but a lot of us are not mentally free, you know. So as Marcus Garvey was said, you know, please, we must free our minds, you know, from the shackles of mental slavery. One of the things, though, my colleague, Professor Clinton Hutton said, which is very notable, and we have to be very conscious about this, is the lack of Pan-African unity. And this was expressed in the case of the Maroons, who were the ones who brought not only Moses Bogle to the British, but also Paul Bogle. And unfortunately this happened after a tea party which he had with a Colonel Sterling. And Paul Bogle left that tea party feeling that he had come to an agreement, an arrangement where there would be unity between him and the Maroons. He left feeling happy, or I should say, he left feeling comfortable that there was a unity, color for color, skin for skin, was his mantra. Unfortunately, the very next morning, them send out the Maroons to grab him, because they knew where he was staying. Chop him up with a machete and take him into the British. That is betrayal. Betrayal in the worst way. And we must not repeat that kind of history. Many occasions we have had betrayal. As Professor Clinton Hutton said, Sam Sharp himself was brought to the British by the Maroons. Tacky was killed by whom? The Maroons. So while the Maroons, we can celebrate that spirit of resistance, there was also a situation of betrayal. And my brothers and sisters, this is what we must overcome if we are to really build ourselves up to that mighty, mighty race and accomplish what we can, as Honorable Marcus Garvey would say. It is our lack of unity that is holding us back. Our lack of unity. And unfortunately other peoples recognize, and then recognize that weakness, right? We wouldn't have this situation in Africa right now where it's being colonized by Europeans and other peoples. I even put it to you, Chinese them are colonizing the continent in a subtle way. But all of that cannot happen if there is unity. So for these few, I just want to put that forward to the item that we still need to aspire
to achieve a unity, as much unity as possible. Because the Chinese themselves, you know, are superpower. Why are they a superpower now? Because of unity. Every major city on the planet you go to, there's a Chinatown, right?
How are we gonna get unity and don't have any love?
Well, we have to work on that, my brother. We have to work on it. So, anyway, we give thanks. Enough respect. Yes, Blackstone, every time. Bless.
His name is Derek Robinson, but he's known right across the world as the Black X. I met him many years ago, almost 20-something years ago, in Waterhouse as an artist. But then he has become an activist for our struggle, for Taki's struggle. Make way for the man that has walked Jamaica many times. My friend, none other than Mr. Robinson or Black X.
Thank you very much. As you know, kind of a little bit hoarse, so I'll just keep it very brief. It is simple. Find a cause, find a role, and see it through. We have only for example, Paul Bogle, Marcus Garvey, Saki. Find a cause, find a role, and play a role to the end. Jabez.
Simple, Black X. Big him up, find a cause, play your role, and show your purpose. My brother, this brother here is a revolutionary of revolutionary in the 20th century. He'd make known who he is by the poem that he reads.
Greetings, St. Thomas. It's Omar Ryan, you know? Yeah, Rhymestone, big up yourself. You know, me and you get locked up almost 2 years ago for the parish, you know? And some people go on like they don't remember that, you know? Must want to roll out again and turn over Jamaica this time and not St. Thomas. Because enough time we are roll through and people say, youth, at the country we want to get locked down because people are suffer too much. And we're not going to really talk much about the separation, but we are feel it. And the change always start from here, St. Thomas. And it really look like again, like the serious change and the revolutionary movement. A year or so, we have got channel it from again. So not just Jamaica, but the Caribbean and the entire black world. 3 years ago, 2016, Tao, my virgin from South Africa, came to Jamaica. You know what Tao told me? That the entire black world is waiting on St. Thomas to rise again. Not just Jamaica, the entire black world. Because this is where Rastafari and black consciousness in the 20th century started. I need to know that. Alright, I am a writer and a poet, and I wrote this poem as a, I would say, as a thing to just remember and hold firm as to who we are as black people. It's called I Am. I am mission, ambition, desire, love, and confidence. I am my ancestors' vision, strong, bold, outspoken, and loud when necessary. Yes, I am rock solid man from the plantation, now the gully, the ghetto, bowels of society. St. Thomas, the forgotten parish, Rastafari from Church Corner, Port Morant, Trinityville, Springfield, Bamboo River, Doing the Pen, Pipe Road, White Horses, who will never give up. I am the possible, impossible, the dirt turned into rock. I am the climax of Africans crossing the Atlantic, the slave master's worst nightmare, the offspring of mama and papa's unplanned sex, whipped till I feel beating no more, killed till I can't be killed no more, hated till I can't be hated no more, been so poor till we can't be poor no more. I am only living because I've died a million deaths, taken a million intoxicated breaths. I am Africa, not just Jamaica. I am loud beating Kumina drums, not just reggae guitar strums. Your past, present, and future. Gold mine, they never knew existed. Water that quenched thirst they never knew existed. From the earth, this diamond can never be evicted. Give thanks.
Give him a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the close of what we say is the 21st anniversary of the Paul Bogle Foundation and the commemoration of 500 million Africans who suffered as a part of slavery and apartheid. We thank all of you, Dr. Clinton Uttle, Dr. Vereen Shepherd, Gabriel Emmons, Paul Bogle Foundation, Dr. Michael Yu, Dr. Barnett, Michael Yu, Mayor of St. Thomas, we thank you. And we thank this Jamaica Constabulary Force for coming out, and we thank you, the people. Paul Bogle is my hero. I wear him proudly on my chest, so does Patrick, Kwame, Romance. And we love this great hero because he gave of his life for us. We thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming out. Mr. Sound System, look at the music, take it away. Long live the memory of Paul Bogle. Black power!
Not yet. 20 years ago, we planned weed a Roselle and buy one nice piece of land of Roselle, so nobody can tell me something with me.
Living road with me well.
476 8155.
476 81.
Not yet.
55.
Yeah, man.
I check a voice. Yes, sir. We're here at the
529 Let's set up. Come on, I'm going now.
Why you know, man?
So it's 894. No, you're not at all. What's the other straight down? 89471.
I don't want to go in the division. We got to teach our people what it's all about. You are missing the kids.
Here in Central.
That's what we do one another. That same thing they help keep us. No,
you know that I'm not a